Hi everybody, welcome. How is it going? We have got a bit of a different setup for today's Showmatch Sunday. Basically, I'm gonna be just looking at some replays that people sent me. There's quite a bunch now, so we've got at least 6 to cover, and then depending on their length, I may or may not stick around for some more games. Maybe some live casts, maybe some games of my own. So we've got Diesel Weasel versus Umbercore for the first one. I'll just jump right in. Good to see Fodden and Bark Maps in the chat already, and I know there's others lurking as well. So yeah, great to see you all. Let's get him, right? I think we get him. First map is Ancient City, so I will just send you there to the map intro while I set up my casting interface. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ancient City. This is a community replay sent in by Diesel Weasel. He's on the other side, but this here is Umbercore playing as the Yellow Dark Elves. And as you would have guessed, this is Diesel Weasel playing as the Trolls on the other side. Match is not yet decided. Let's reset that score. The heroes are going to be the Chieftain. He's already doing a little mini teleport up front to the hunting hut. That's a very distant hunting hut. Specifically placed there for the teleport, I'm guessing. And we've got the Reaper for the Dark Elves. Let's see how that goes. Ancient City is typically a little bit hard for the Dark Elves, in my opinion, against the Trolls. It's just a little bit difficult to fight them, as they can gain the early Medusa camps very easily. Wait a second, Diesel Weasel skipping the initial undead. Could this be some kind of rush to get this location wrangled away from the Dark Elves? Especially if Umbercore goes down this direction. That could be pretty brutal. Build orders are as usual, but wood heavy for the Dark Elves, so there's not going to be any early spiders really. And by the way, you too can send in your SpellForce free replays to me. Just hit me up on Discord, either in personal messages or publicly in my community replays Discord channel, whatever you like. The troll build order is it looks normal. Yeah, we've got the good mix between tree choppers. Oh, triple hunt, that's the special one. That is a hunting hut. Yeah, that could be quite heavy on smashers. We already had the initial one, but I think it's just constant smasher production from here. And if the trolls can get this flag upgraded, that's a pretty huge deal, as it connects with the Godstone and they can just keep going. The Dark Elves are going to have to make some spiders and infiltrators, and it's very important to focus down the smasher rather than trying to fight the flag, in my opinion. And especially as more of them are coming, this is going to get harder and harder for the Reaper, who's leaving. And by the way, skill tree wise, Diesel Weasel is doing the cool thing again. I'm not even sure it's cool anymore. That's how often I've seen him do it. He's doing the Troll Guards, which basically buffs one of the smashers with some extra health. And he can have 2 of them right now, but ultimately he can have 5 of them once he gets to the second level of this. The skill he's been using is March. That basically tells the trolls, the troll guards to move faster. And later it will also tell them to... Oh wait, sorry, it already does. It already gives them attack speed as well. It's just level 2 is better at it. Oi, 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 oi. Is this eye banner actually built? No, it's not. It doesn't provide any line of sight. That's what I thought. Ooh, that's not great. Diesel Weasel forgot it. Umbercore is working on these undead here. And just taking a look at his equipment. He didn't buy anything when he teleported back, so he just did a short range teleport. Already has 3 points in Dark Water, so he's really gonna want to spam that Corruption, Void Arrow, and Reanimate Soul skills. But Reanimate Souls really requires Echo to be around to be highly effective. So against the Trolls, it's just not the best, which is one of the reasons I think why Dark Elf players like going for the Guardian of Nor against Trolls. You can just take a little bit more of a beating. You can go in there. You can chase the Smashers down with your teleports and just bonk them one by one. Reaper is less well equipped for this, being ranged and all. It just doesn't have as much DPS. Relies more on the undead summons, which can be okay, but their resistances are pretty crap. So there is that. They get pretty easily killed off. Already 3 sectors for the Trolls. That's the same as what the Dark Elves have. That's not good for the Dark Elves. The Dark Elves are supposed to be ahead in this, because you see the Troll workers just simply are better than the Dark Elf workers. They'll be providing much more value. And these are also just scouting. Okay, we got a frontier post. Actually, that's not bad at all. That eye banner can be taken down, but the problem is the Trolls are just gonna go for Medusa. As soon as you have 3 Smashers, I think you can go, but the 4v4 isn't that bad in this matchup. There's gotta be a little careful with this weak Smasher. He's already been weak. And getting targeted by the Magic Medusa certainly didn't help. Woohoo! 83 health, okay. But this is one of the reasons why it's hard to play against the Trolls, you guys, because, well, the Smashers just are one of the best creeping units. What are you gonna do about them? You really need some hero that can go in and pick them off one by one. Supporting that with heavy unit usage is, I think, the way to go. Because you yourselves are not gonna have a great time doing this. The Tarantula are pretty weak against Medusa. And that's really the only thing we're seeing. The Hall of Pain is now up, but the Dark Elves aren't going to have a Godstone. The Trolls have taken both. So there's no easy mobility towards this. They have to walk through the entire map to get to the Medusa. Sure, the weakening is nice from the Reaper. So he's like reasonably well equipped to take on the Medusa, but here come the Trolls. And that's not going to be an easy thing. He's already got the left side skills, the Slam and the Throw Junk, and the Come Here to slow them down. The Bond of the Troll Guard is in, so he'll get some extra... he'll get some extra focus from the Troll Guard members. By the way, where is the second Troll Guard guy? I'm not sure. Oh, he's chilling back here. Left a potion on the ground. Oops. Well, that's okay. As long as he can prevent this Dark Ensign from coming up, as long as he can steal at least one of the Medusas, that's good enough for the Trolls. One step closer to level 5. Steal potions too. That's level 5 right there. Oh man. Which level 5 skill is getting picked? Hitting upgrade. So he wants to turn the Troll Guards into Skull Crushers. And of course we're getting the Medusa sector. There is a little bit of scrap here somewhere. There. It's a very convenient sector to grab. And it denies the Dark Elves access to iron. So you could have just gotten this one, right? Because it's closer technically to the scrap, but... I mean, you want to deny iron to the Dark Elves. That's kind of a no-brainer. Once the Dark Elves get heavy on Sleepers and Infiltrators, it's so much harder to fight them than it is in this early game. Alright, no units are lost. A little bit of harassment damage came through, but it really wasn't that much. The chieftain should probably go and shop by this merchant. This is now a frontier post. The Dark Elves won't actually be able to teleport in to defend. And also, I think this is a level 2 armor on the Reaper, isn't it? Ooh, you don't see that very often. Very dapper. Got the level 3 Rat Catcher. Also, don't see that often. It's a very cool staff. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any interesting effects. But it sure looks nice. There's no rats in the game either. So nothing to catch. But anyway, one of the smashers was turned into a skull crusher there. So that boy is already crushing skulls here. With the extra health, he's pretty potent, of course. And he's getting empowered by the Show March. Very nice. Gaining some extra attack speed, so they'll be taking down the sector pretty fast. The Chieftain actually has decent armor already. Or rather, a lot of health. So he just tanked all of that building fire. Should have targeted one of the smashers, really. I think. What else did he do? He got joined the Troll Guard level 2, so there's more people in the Troll Guard now, which means he's getting more focus, which is going to be great for promotions then. So he can turn some of these guys into Skull Crushers as he goes. Just need to be careful not to get sniped by the Infiltrators. That's really all there is to this. Already 2 Skull Crushers on the field. Would love to see more. Of course, you need scrap for that. So far, we're not seeing any scrap gathering. There's some here as well. I will definitely love to see some more of that. Okay, Frontier Post is getting bonked pretty damn hard as well. And you know, I'm thinking the next levels of promotion are probably going to go to the Skull Crushers to gain a little bit of wall breaking. Once he gets some wall breakers, this is going to be much more brutal. We got a slam. Hurts the Infiltrators, but this is not level 2 yet, so there's no bleeding ailment attached to that. One of these smashers here is getting really weak. Another one gets picked off. Good job with the focus firing there. But the Dark Elves do have to be a little careful here. They're very puny compared to the Trolls. It's definitely felt. This Reaper at level 4 is just absolutely miserable as well. Really can't contribute too much to the fight. Unlike the Guardian of Nor could. I mean, it really doesn't make a huge difference for the Guardian of Nor if he's level 4 or 5. Okay, it kind of does, but not to the degree with the Reaper. The Reaper is just kind of useless on level 4. Then he gets crazy on level 5. Very important capstone skill. So I just wouldn't really like to use him on Ancient City against Trolls, honestly, guys. I've said this before. I wonder how... Does anybody know how much junk stacks are worth for the Chieftain? I think he basically gets protected for a little bit of damage there. Is it just one hit for each stack that he absorbs, basically? Or what was it? I don't know the exact protection from that. So if anybody in chat knows, I'm ready to be taught. Got our first scrappers out. Oh, excuse me. There were scrappers up here too. I forgot about this sector. So actually these already has 40 scrap. That looks a lot better. It's all Skull Crushers now. Dark Elves are here to have a party. It's all border fortresses now for the Dark Elves coming up. I'm sure there will be more of those soon. This might be a difficult base to protect, however. It's only a scouting post. It is upgrading to be a frontier post, and we've got our very first sleeper joining the battle. That would be very helpful with the 25 strike resist, but it still goes down very quickly. Nice little soul harvest will also be helping out. The sleeper's already toast though. Very difficult to take on these strong meta units with, especially the slowed infiltrators. And now these boys are moving even faster. It's really not enough of them. The trolls are worth 6 population each, mind you, so it doesn't look like there's so many of them, but actually this is terrifying. The infiltrators are just 2 pop a piece, as I recall. Sleeper might help make a difference, but you'll need like 3 or 4 of them to really get that effect. Well, base already got smashed. Wallbreaker doing a ton of damage to that, obviously. A 6 smash as well here from Dieselweasel's hero, and that's it. Smashed. Umbracore never really got to establish himself. There was just a little bit too much going on here with the sector stealing, the level 5 chieftain, and then the Skull Crusher spam. A lot of them were free to upgrade as well because of the Troll Guard perks. This was just really, really well done. Here's all them stats. Scrap doesn't add damage to the left tree abilities. No, it's like a protection aura, isn't it? Let me just fire it up real quick. Just to read the description. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Alright, just taking a look here. We'll have some immediate boys to go after as well. I don't need to build an economy right now. We'll do a little bit. Okay, so he will pick up junk every 5 seconds that will grant temporary protection from attacks.
He is ready to do his duty.
So now he has 3 stack, 1 stack, 2 stack, 3 stack. Let's see. Oh, it immediately stripped it. Okay, let's get to 10 stacks and see if he can survive like a full attack from these guys.
The tribe can rely
Come on.
him. On his
Just run around. Now we wait. He doesn't have to stand still, right? Just not fighting. Check other abilities. It doesn't get stronger. Definitely not. It's protection. It even says. Well, you can see he has 3 stacks and it's still the same damage. So no, it doesn't help. The junk is just an absorption aura. Now we'll get to 10. Oh, we have a smasher, right? So we can just smash one of these cutthroats down. And then we can leave.
What next?
Very good.
Is it time
Now
to
we'll
leave?
definitely have 10 stacks and we can just fight the cutthroat archer.
Be ready. He is ready to do his duty. This is the way he must go.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all it took. So it absorbs a certain amount of damage rather than fully absorbing a hit, and with 10 of them doing, let's say, 60 times, was it 5 attacks? That should be like around 300 for the full.
Can rely
impact, and then I'm assuming that brute force might scale it. Yeah, there we go. Now we know. Alright, moving on. Moving on, I've got a Levatus game as well, where he's playing something. It's another Ancient City match, so let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Ancient City, and in the red color, we've got some humans. I think this is the person who sent in the replays. This is Levatus. On the other side of the map, playing as the pink trolls, this is Diesel Weasel. It's gonna be a match between the chieftain for the trolls and the royal mage for the humans. Should be very interesting. Are they putting a worker in the stonecutter? What's the deal here? You don't see that very often. Oh, he's unassigning workers from the hunting cabin, so there's absolutely no plans to get infantrymen. He's happy to take the hit with the royal mage. I'm intrigued. Let's take a look at the skills. I think he picked up Biting Frost rather than Fire Nova. More single target damage. Against these zombos, I really like Fire Nova, but I'm sure the Biting Frost was picked for a reason here. He doesn't want to go into melee against the trolls. And that's why he's also going for Arcane Force rather than Fire Might. It makes a lot of sense, really. Get your single target spells in and deal a lot better with the Troll Smashers. I think this is great. What happened with that undead? Oh, wait. He doesn't want to mess around. He spotted that the trolls are coming across with his scout. This is a full skip build. In fact, Diesel Weasel never completed this eye banner, so they're not going to be fighting for this sector. Levatus even chugged a potion just to make sure he's full health. And he's going to build the eye banner as soon as possible. Only after that is he going to even deal with the undead. Finally finishing the royal flag. The target is really gonna be the smasher, but you do have to play the... Oh man, the flag abuse is... This is just not happening, is it? Oh no, his icicles aren't hitting the eye banner. That would be some extra little bit of free damage. But I think Levatus has to give up here. And he's lost this sector as well. What is going on? Oh my god. Yeah, typically you want to go for the Wolfguard commander here, much like with the Dark Elves, instead of using a mage. But the humans have a slightly better situation with the Royal Mage. I already pointed out to single target magic spells. So yeah, that's really the idea to go for here as well. Take out the smashers one by one. And of course from Diesel Weasel, you guys know him already. We've got the Troll Guard build. Is he gonna pick up, however, Chieftain's Word for Stomp? I don't think he likes Stomp as much. March is great. Stomp, he probably could use some help. But the trolls are already really good in the melee, so there is that. Bond for Troll Guard and pick up Junk are of course in. And as we know now, pick up Junk is around 300 health extra as part of that shield. Once you have full stacks, that is, not before. Right, Levatus and Diesel Weasel will be reaching this bottom spot at the same time. The infantryman and the scouts are going to be working on this eye banner, making sure to prevent it. I think they can do it too, because Diesel Weasel spent a lot of resources on other stuff, just getting buildings made, I suppose. And Trolls most certainly cannot upgrade their bases one after the other very easily. It takes some time. There's the weak smasher. He's working on it. But Diesel Weasel is microing it back to take care of the royal flag, and Levatus is just going to be stuck on 3 sectors. Well, maybe 4 with this one also being in play, of course. But the Trolls, here's the thing, they can already go for a Medusa. All you need is 3 smashers, honestly. And to be honest, if you pull them 2 at a time, you can just do it with 2 smashers even. So, yeah, they're probably going to be harassed a little bit by Levatus. Oh, he's going for the early barracks play. Very interesting from Levatus there. You certainly don't see that often. Double barracks. But ultimately he's going to teleport back because he needs more sectors. That's just necessary. Oh, hey, Merguez, thank you for your subscription. Appreciated. Very nice indeed. Royal flags coming up. And this eye banner is going to be taken down eventually. It's not getting upgraded, so I think there's pretty good chances for taking it down. you like that long alert? I might change it to just a cat laser vomit thing. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Just change it. It's too long and it keeps getting copyright striked on YouTube. But whatever, I'll just mute that. Or actually, the AI can remove it now. It's been working pretty well. I would have already changed it if it was 1,000 subs per month. That's probably true. That's probably true. Alright, we've got the Medusa getting taken on. But this is going to be a slow job for Levatus. I think he's going to be on the struggle bus here. I mean, the Trolls have all the sectors. What the hell? And they even came up here to prevent the humans from building. He's doing a good job, though, with the hit squad running around to prevent eye banners from coming up. I'm just surprised Diesel Weasel isn't going for the level 5 here. It would be so easy to get, and then you're fighting a level 3 mage. Levatus is not in a great spot, you guys. This is going to be rough. Oh no, he lost the scout and the infantryman as well. Not great. Can he prevent this banner from coming up? It might be difficult. It's already at 70%. Royal Mage would have to help, but he's not coming. Oh man, I think this is coming up. Oh no. Oh yeah, that was no hope there. So Royal Mage had only been coming there immediately. That would be very different though. Alright, Smasher could actually go for it, but it's too late for that as well. A royal flag should be coming up. Great use of the icicles. But Smasher gets pulled back. Good sprint there. And while the Trolls are going to be doing some damage here, it's going to be a little bit difficult to make this work against all the human defenses. There's a lot of infantrymen and arbalists coming in. Well, the Smashers is already getting very low. The scouting post is working on an upgrade. Oh, the Smasher might actually die, but so does the scouting post gets taken down. Ooh, Smasher at 24 health will just about escape through the Godstone. That's sick. Yeah, good job by Diesel Weasel there. And Levatus is, I guess, forced to teleport. No choice. He's just gonna work on the Medusa. He's got enough units. And he won't get level 5, right? But he's gonna be getting much closer to it. Interestingly, he still never picked up Fire Nova, but he did work on Ice Might and Fire Might. Not that it's super relevant, because he doesn't get into melee too much with this hero. But it will be relevant when he's level 5 and has absorbed the elements. That's what I'm assuming he wants to do. Alright, the base should be built. Diesel Weasel is coming, but if he wants trouble, trouble is what he's gonna get. That's a lot of Humies. And a lot of single target firepower from the Royal Mage. So he'll definitely help take down some of these smashers one at a time. Forcing Diesel Weasel to indeed micro this very well. Or face losses. Can I show the abilities in the Troll Capital? I mean, there's nothing special here. It's just the completely usual Diesel Weasel build order of free hunting huts, right? Wait. I think if you... Yeah, free hunting huts. He just did a rush. So if you've seen the previous game, it was the same. We've got Stonebreakers. We've got Tree Choppers, of course. Just a bunch. It's 3 and 2 respectively. And now we've got our first fight huts coming up. We've got the hitting camp, so he wants to transform these smashers into bigger trollos. Got 2 scrappers on the job. And once the hitting camp is done, he will be able to turn, I think, everybody into Skull Crushers, actually. It's just a matter of moments and they'll be done. Workers just need to deliver the scrap. Wait, why aren't they doing it? Oh, they need the wood. Which the workers are holding, but yeah, it actually needs to be delivered to the building. Now they can work. Look how quick that is. Once you have the resources, that is. They don't have it right now. Oh, wait, the humans are meanwhile attacking. Got the Eye of the Tribe pretty low. But with the Skull Crushers now in the fight, these infantrymen are getting cleaved on. They hit 2 enemies at a time. Good pullback micro as well. Diesel Weasel making sure that these guys don't get too damaged, because it takes forever for the trolls to regenerate. More smashers are coming in. I wonder if we should actually just put another hitting camp here, or even a throwing camp to gain some throwers. Now he probably doesn't have enough units to actually take on the humans. I'd be very, very careful doing this. The Royal Mage is actually heading home, I'm assuming, for some upgrades. Honestly, Levatus, considering how this game went so far, has gotten away with a lot. He's tier 2. He's got quite a bunch of billets. He's got fortified outposts all over except this one, and that's also going to be worked on shortly. Just needs a little bit of resources. Once he has that, it's all good. Holding the little vision tower here is a pretty good idea. He can see what's going on all the way. Okay, so we're getting the staff for the Royal Mage. He doesn't worry too much about armor. And so long as he doesn't forget equipping that thing, everything should be fine. He's got 2 points in Arcane Force. Ooh, be careful there. You don't have armor, sir. No resistances.
Our workers are under attack.
But he does sneakily get out of this, for the most part. Arbalists are opening up on the Skull Crushers. Royal Mage gets hit a bunch of times thanks to the slow ability of the Chieftain. Might be a Skull Crusher going down there, but just about gets away. Pretty good teleport once again. Chieftain, meanwhile, has equipped himself the tier 3 items. So he's got some sick armor. Really high weapon damage at 200. Of course, the Royal Mage can be better than that in terms of weapon damage output. I don't think he swapped yet. Levatus still is holding the Queen's Hand level 3 in the inventory, and it's really level 5 that will give him a lot of damage output. For that, he will have to kill some of these troll units, and certainly Diesel Weasel is not making that easy. Okay, another fortified outpost is coming in. Current situation really isn't that bad for Levatus, but he is losing a lot of units in these fights, as you can see. There's just 5 kills right there, and the trolls have lost, what, nothing, I think? There's no troll corpse here. And trolls now already have wall breakers on top of everything, so they'll be able to take down bases. That's just 2 of them so far. But that's already a lot of siege damage to take down buildings with. There's not been any expansion on the number of scrap gatherers. The scrap is still going back home. These trolls be pretty strong, you guys. But fear not, Levatus has got this covered, right? Surely. 142 pop to 104? Maybe not. Oh, that's gonna be rough. So many of these boys are also trying to split off to escape, but they're so weak. I think they might get just taken down. We also have some Iron Beaks now. But they're not upgraded, so they can't actually attack ground units. I guess they could use their ability to blind enemies and reduce their range by 50%. That could be a good move on the Arbalists. We'll see if he actually uses that. I'd love to see it. Okay, Skull Crusher's gonna go to the hitting camp to upgrade. And even though he's low health, once he does that, which literally only takes 3 seconds once you have the resources, he's full health again. So that's also a healing mechanic, not just a direct upgrade. Yeah, he's using the blinding on the Arbalist, but they're already in melee range, so, you know, didn't do much. He's also working very hard on this fortified outpost. One of the wall breakers is on the job. Some of the trolls are finally starting to go down, and Levatus does reach level 5 on this hero, so things are going to be very different from here on out. He does lose the base. And he absorbs the elements. All his little buffs are now powering him up. He's still using the basic weapon, unfortunately, calls down the meteor that misses. But most importantly, he can do 4 shots with his weapon now, while that buff is active. If he just remembers to equip the better item, it will be even better. Significantly more damage from that thing, but sometimes people just forget. There's a 60-second cooldown on that one. And for Starfall, it's 50. Both of them doing pretty significant damage. Levatus is just on 61 population. As long as Diesel Weasel remembers to heal back up his units, I think that's gonna be fine. But Levatus, meanwhile, has gone for tier 3. And he's starting to have these border fortresses all over the map. Aria distilleries are already in. And you guys know what that means. We're gonna see a pivot into champions. And maybe even into magic units. Starfall does do a little bit of siege damage. Helps tear down this base at least. That's a scrapping base, so that's pretty important for the trolls to hold on to. But they also are going to be going after Levatus's base here. There's some Aria here, so denying that is a pretty big deal actually. And right now Levatus doesn't want the business. He does not want to fight the trolls there. Oh, wait, they're gonna teleport in! They're surrounding the humans! Oh my goodness. Those infantrymen are completely unupgraded. There's an absorb the elements once again for Levatus. It's level 3. So the 36% power multiplier is in, the 150% attack speed is in, and it's 4 projectiles from the staff attacks. But if his army doesn't fight, he can't fight either with the hero. They're grouping up as much as they can, but this is just a lot of human corpses. Oh my goodness. He lost everything. Most everything anyway. Got 3 wall breakers. And I haven't actually checked Vizo's skills. So he's got Troll Guard level 2. You can see that by all these Troll Guards getting assigned already. For whatever reason, he upgraded the throwing. He unlocked the throwing upgrade as well, but he didn't use it yet. We've got one of the Troll Guard level 2, so every time the Troll Guards attack something, they will be giving some focus to the Chieftain to use on these upgrades. The champions are in. They're already upgraded to their lances, so they'll be doing a little bit of cleave damage with that. And cool stuff, cool stuff. Can they actually hold on against this? I mean, they have really good armor values and health. Very comparable to the Skull Crushers, actually. So finally, the humans have trolls at home. And with the potential to buff them more. The throwers are coming in. They're pretty scary as well in high numbers. And Levatus is on a very, very low sector count, so this is absolutely terrifying for him. Speaking of the buffs, the flag bearers are being made now. Levatus will have to teleport to defend himself. But it's with a border fortress, so I think I like his chances. Especially if he can do a good element absorption. He's at 1 stacks each at the moment. Getting the second one. Oh, gets knocked down, however, by the wall breakers. That is really brutal. They just keep chaining the ability as well so that he keeps getting put down like that. Oh, the chieftain actually gets sniped. The trolls can't run, and now they're having to face all these champions, which also get a little bit of a flag bearer armor buff. There is a single flesh eater, but I think there's no way these guys can stick around under the border fortress fire. Levatus does absorb the elements. He's also got the armored boon from the flag bearer. And he just smashed the trolls. That was sick. That was absolutely sick. And now, although he paid a high price for it himself with his champions, he can just make new ones for now. He can more or less afford it. Probably need to get rid of some wood because we're not building much stuff anymore. Turn that into a farm. He's already done it actually back in the home base. So that's pretty neat. Here he's focusing on iron. Read this sector where I was wondering, okay, he's got really good macro, man. I mean, he's got 1 woodcutter. That's really all he needs from here. Alright, turning many of the flag bearers into attacking mode. Hex camp is getting dismantled here by the trolls. And they just can't seem to afford making as many units as they need. Scrappers now working on this middle sector. This one is empty, so it might be a good idea to just teleport across and go here for some extra scrapping. The flesh eaters are still getting trained. Wallbreaker is going for a Warbringer upgrade. Oh god, those are absolutely insane. Give such a big buff to Friendos. We also got the Bone Hexer Thick Boys. coming out. Warbringers here. This guy actually has a blocking chance. And they resist magic too. Where have the trolls placed the metal gatherers? So some of them are still idle here. 2 more over here. And then this sector and this sector still have some actual scrap in it. Levatus' iron sector down here also does. But there's no sneaky boys there. Alright, the buff champions are absolutely insane. They gain a 20% in power and a 15% armor from the flag bearers. And of course, they cleave up to 3 targets. Scrappers are getting picked off. Diesel does have a lot of scrap, but he doesn't have food to actually remake these. So I don't expect that anytime soon. And you know, sieging these border fortresses is actually very hard. You probably need like several warbreakers in the army. But they are at the moment buffed by the Warbringer, so let's not forget that. Doing a significant amount of damage there. But I think the champions are starting to take over a little bit. Is this actually a fight that Levatus can take and win? He was getting slowed down a little bit by the chieftain ability there. The ability is called come here, but it's kind of used as don't come here. Ooh, nice little slam level 2. Giving these guys a little bit of bleeding. They can't resist that, it's irresistible. We've also got Corpse Seekers, so those could be activating their little skill here, giving the trolls some extra armor in the location and the enemies some extra bleeding. It's 17 bleeding damage in this whole little goo area, so pretty significant. And the Warbreaker has the knockdown ability as well, really good use of it. Meteor lands but doesn't do much. In comes the Chieftain, activates his invulnerability, and doesn't actually manage to tank much because Levatus never targeted him. He targeted all the other trolls, and he's done Mentalists as well, which is going to be very useful here, and knows that there's an opportunity for a counterattack. But meanwhile, the corpses are getting eaten by all these trolls, and some of these units have very high blood power already stacking up. Bear in mind, the aura from the Warbringer doesn't actually stack with that, so it's still going to be a 20% in power no matter what. But the individual core attacks of these units are going to be increased, so the Bone Axers can do a whole lot more damage. They also cleave, they also lifesteal. These champions definitely don't like that. They don't have any innate magic resist, but if there's a flag bearer nearby, that will benefit. Ooh, the chieftain is actually getting extremely low. I do love how he gets like 100% pierce resistance from this, and if he gets a ring at the shop, he might even resist the other types of attacks, although he would also need an amulet. Yeah, get both and then you'll fully resist everything. During the ultimate skill, that is. Well, Levatus seems to be taking down the sharp eye of the tribe. Can Diesel Weasel actually do something about it? Some of the champions are really weak here, and he is going in. He's giving them the bleeding business. And you know, they're also getting debuffed by the stinky auras of the flesh eaters. So whatever the flag bearers would give them in offensive mode, they're losing. And that's a good dodge on the meteor, by the way. Needless to say, Arbalists aren't exactly the best kind of unit to snipe bases with. And another Bavarian dude goes down. Oh no. It's corpse eating time. Brains. Ooh, Chieftain once again goes in for the big hit. He's practically immune, so it should be easy enough to leave here and wait out the penalty time. But meanwhile, several of the advanced troll units are going down. Levatus is still doing a really good job. He's now got a level 7 hero as well. That's a pretty big deal. Hailstorm is upgraded to level 2. He does have 3 points in deep waters, and you've just seen the frozen guy. That's from Biting Frost level 2. When a unit is chilled, you just freeze them with this. And 3 points in Arcane Force. I'm sure that number will go up some more as we proceed. I'd also consider Spark level 2, to be honest, because it's like an extra 100 damage. Probably not a bad idea. It's a very cheap skill. Might as well make use of it. Alright, we're gonna have a very heavy magic army. But Levatus, having cut into the sectors, he unlocked another Aria sector here. And he definitely could use the Aria, so would love to see it. Well, the meteor doesn't actually land on the middle base. It only hit that Shrine of Mugwa, which is still important to do because Diesel Weasel actually is lacking the offerings. And that's what that building generates. Slow champions can be run down fairly easily. Levatus knows this, so he's going to teleport out. This is just a fortified outpost, not a border fortress, but it's still pretty good at doing what it does.
Alright then, let's get to it.
153 population against 118, but I just feel like that Levatus has been doing a much better job with a much smaller army. So the trolls aren't exactly highly pop effective. Once they eat the corpses, of course, that's completely turning on its head, but we just don't have that yet. We are slowly but surely entering the real late game territory between these two factions. The humans will eventually run out of resources completely. They have the market, so they can convert resources into each other, but it's not very effective. It's certainly not as effective as just being able to gather them. So the trolls have a massive advantage that the humans can partially offset for a while. But the human army is better at full pop, so there's that advantage. They're pretty similar pop right now, and with the Humies losing their hero and this chieftain just being absolutely immortal, slowing down all these champions and the magic boys, finishing them off, that hurts a lot. Levatus has been absolutely reset, and we might actually get to that point where the Humies run out of iron around the map. We are gonna take a quick look at the current situation. So that's 220 here, 615 here. Okay, he's been very conservative with this sector. Fight is happening. There is 72 iron left up here, so that's about to run out very, very soon. That's just a handful of champions, really. Only good news for Levatus here is that his base is shooting the mages, and you know, eventually they will be going down, but he's losing the entire army in order to defend here. Probably should have run around some more, because that's a lot of human corpses and not many trolls. Champions have gotten a pretty good angle here, but they're also getting low on health. They're getting chased by the chieftain. Wait, Royal Mage is back actually. But he's in the Stinky Aura, so he won't be doing too much damage. As long as these Flesh Eaters chase him around, that's going to be the case. The Meteor might actually land there. Oh my god, it's fully landing! But the Royal Mage himself did go down. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, the base has been working on these guys the whole time. We've got a bunch of Corpse Trolls coming in. They've been zombified. Chieftain is just on 78 health. If one of the cleaves hits him, there we go. The champions did get it. Despite the Stinky Aura, they have more than enough damage to get this done. And the troll army has been completely cleaned up. Diesel Weasel, however, still on 119 population as he's pumping out a ton of smashers here. They're waiting for their upgrades, but he just doesn't seem to have the scrap for it. Again, there is scrap up here still. So he's got to make use of that fully if he really wants these scrap units, or he needs to make a lot more scrappers, which will ultimately reduce his full population army, but he's never really gotten to full population, so I'm not too worried about that. A second hex camp is being built, which will basically allow you to rally from one hex camp to the other. Well, basically, fight hut to hex camp to hex camp. What happens then is that the smashers automatically go to the hex camp. They will upgrade into flesh eaters. And then they go to the next one where they upgrade into bone hexers. And once the bone hexer is dead, you get the corpse troll. So that's a pretty good little sequence. And it's very easy to macro as well. From the second hex camp, you just rally to either your godstone or your hero. Your godstone can rally to your hero as well. So they would teleport through the map automatically. And all you have to do is make the smashers at the buildings. The rest, they just rally where you tell them to. Very convenient little move set there. Alright, we're gonna get our support garrison now for Levatus. I think he wants some catapults to take down buildings with. Holding these border fortresses has been an absolute blessing for him. And now swapping into a bunch more Aria units in the form of the Mentalists will basically give him this opportunity to last longer here. Right? The iron is getting problematic in this sector in particular. But he can keep doing this a lot longer if utilized on Aria. Alright, the Royal Mage has finally realized it's time to equip the better weapon. Not sure when that happened, but he also has his armor level 2. He's got 2 more potions, and eventually he can sell these for some more potions and rings. Excuse me. For the Chieftain, we do have, oh, the Spirit Ward of Fast Feet. That's interesting. 15% extra movement speed on the hero. That's perfect for his Slam 2 skill use. I love that. He also bought himself a Slowing Orb. And just generally for pullback micro, this is huge. He's level 8 at the moment. He doesn't have many points in Brute Force, but he does have Bond of the Troll Guard free. So again, this will contribute some more to his infinite economy where he can just train his Troll Guard units into better ones with his skills, making it a lot easier to rely on scrap-based stuff. By the way, whenever these Mentalists attack, they apply this Impaired Affliction. This is not the normal Impair, by the way, so it probably needs to get renamed. But what it does is 30% movement speed reduction, 14% attack speed and casting speed reduction. It's pretty good. It's like a super impair. Two hit squads. Levatus can unite them. Get a nice flank on the trolls even, then that can go a really long way. All he needs to do is lure these guys out. But I don't think that right now Diesel Weasel is in a particular rush to go and get things done. He's tried to get his ultimate little army going. With the Flesh Eaters trying to turn into Bone Hexers. Even the Thrower is trying to upgrade into a Flesh Eater. We're still super heavy on Skull Crushers, which is not going to fare too well against, especially the Mentalists. That's exactly the kind of people that will hit him. Levatus is approaching full population here on very high quality units, and these guys are ready to stab these guys in the back. If they get on top of the Spike Flingers, they will just evaporate with their minus 25 melee resist. Levatus is now attacking the base. He will be taking it down too, but the flank idea really didn't work out. It's almost like Don Hyperion knew that was going to happen, and now Levatus' plans are foiled. Let's see if you can get a different kind of Surroundo with a slightly smaller army, but he's still getting it. We are going to see Meteor down there in the middle, and it's going to hit. Oh my god, so many of these Flesh Eaters got damaged from that. The trolls are falling left and right, and they're going to be teleporting out of this. They're very, very damaged. I don't think they really want to take a full fight, but Diesel Weasel is high in population. He's got a bunch of Corpse Seeker Iron Beaks, which, if they find some corpses, will be able to generate some very powerful bleeding areas that the humans probably don't want to step into. Okay, here we go. there aren't many corpses, so you really can't use their ability. But what it does is this. So 7% extra resist for troll friends, and for the enemies, 15 bleeding per second. Can't resist the bleeding, of course. Sharp After Tribe getting repaired. The meteor lands, takes down another building. Sharp After Tribe is down. This is the moment that Diesel Weasel really has to engage and save his buildings because they're so expensive and take so long to rebuild. He needs every resource he can get, especially scrap and offerings, to make more advanced units. But he's at the moment just kind of suffering through this. Absorb the Elements is in for the Royal Mage. He is sniping the Chieftain somehow with all his powerful single target skills. He's shooting 4 projectiles and the entire troll army is melting away. The champions are just a little bit too Chad-like. And they just cut down everybody. The corpse trolls are now in. That's all that's left of the mighty Bone Hexer army. And as Levatus destroys every single building in this sector and upgrades the flag, he will be taking all the resources that the buildings drop down. There are plenty of corpses here, to be fair. So that's something to look out for. The Corpse Seeker will be applying the bleeding in this little zone, but it's kind of small. If Levatus doesn't sit in it, then, well, he doesn't have any problems, right? It's already over as well. Another meteor coming down. Wait, did Levatus actually, like, upgrade concentration? No, but he's got level 4 of Arcane Force, and that's eventually going to go level 6, I'm assuming. He wants to max this baby out. At which point, his meteor is going to be absolutely sick. He does have Spark level 2, as I suggested, so that's now 336 magic damage and 11% scorching for 5 seconds, which is insane. Fighting Frost level 2 is gonna be 436 damage if you hit the chilled target, which also takes damage from Hailstorm itself, supposedly. And gets frozen. Warbringers are in, and they're ready to bring some war. Buffing all the nearby allies by an extra 20% in power. If the trolls can especially eat the corpses here, they'd be getting even more powerful. Yeah, the Bone Hexers really need to get going with that. There's plenty more where that came from. Meanwhile, the Warbringer is empowering this Warbreaker by 20% as well. It's already got a super high damage. Single target for sieging, but it's exactly what you need against these bases. Of course, they're dual use, so you've got the smackdown, but it's not going to be enough. The humans are too numerous, aren't they? You've got a bleeding coming through, but absorb the elements, and the meteor lands in the backline once again on the weaker units like the Spike Flinger. We've got the 4 projectile attacks from the Royal Mage and wielding the Queen's Hand level 3 staff. He is just absolutely stomping everybody. This Warbringer got frozen there by the Frost Spike. Absolutely nuts. He just wiped out the troll army again. Diesel Weasel stuck on 76 population, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how he's gonna get out of this base. He's stuck in the main, man. And you know what? Even more importantly, this sector has 500 iron in it. Finally, Levatus freed himself of the shackles of the finite economy. It's not just this sector where he saved the iron for later that he can benefit, but now the troll sectors, the trolls do not use iron, and relying on scrap in its entirety is just not really a thing. They also need to worry about the offerings, but scrap, you can see it's very, very limited. You need to make so many scrappers, and they take up population space, just as a smasher would. Levatus has an opportunity to take them all out here, at which point the trolls can't upgrade units anymore, basically. Then again, this site has been picked clean. There's still this one available, but yeah, this is an absolute massacre that Levatus is going for. I can't believe he came back from this early game. It was so miserable, but he managed to make it work. Absolutely epic match. Oh, hey, Iron Maiden. Good to see you as well. You gotta try this out, man. I think you'd enjoy the dwarves. They have dropships, they have tunnels, they can be very mobile with their armies, and they have berserkers. And it's free, so you might as well. Got the Mentalist. Mentalist will be absolutely nerfing these guys to oblivion. Ooh, that's a huge slam coming through on these guys, but I'm not really sure that the Chieftain can take this after his ability is over. Once again, a meteor lands. Now his nerf is gonna come in as his ability expires, and he just gets picked off right away. He gets invulnerable with his ultimate, but it turns on its head as it ends. Level 10 Royal Mage is in, ladies and gentlemen. Levatus reached the max level, and that is gonna be it as he finally cleans up the trolls there with the Giga Chads of the human army. Beautifully done. And we got a very satisfying timing as well for the music ending. I like that. Well done to Levatus. That was awesome. How did he manage this? That's crazy. But yeah, Maiden, here's the link for you. Shervin says, Diesel isn't using the armored ability, right? Well, you basically use it to go in for the stomp, not the stomp, the slam, and then you activate it, right? Before you get focus fired on. I think that should be the way to make use of that, really. Alright, I've got a few more here. Let's take a good look. But perhaps in the background I will be changing my subscriber thing to not have to deal with copyright strikes, because I shouldn't have used that one, to be honest. So yeah, give me guys a minute and I'll do that real quick. At least the in-game scene. Okay. Seven seconds. And we should do a quick test. Oh, not in this.
Just subscribed.
Not in this.
Just subscribed.
In this. Yeah, that's what it should look like. Very good. Excellent. All right. I don't care about the other scenes right now, honestly. We'll fix that later. I just want to quickly do this. And next up, I've got a 2v2 on Wastelands of Zoo. Let's get it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I've got ourselves a nice little 2v2 game here. I believe also sent in by Levatus. Here he is, playing as the red troll. Red trolls? These are dwarves. These are dwarves. And then his buddy in the yellow, playing as the dark elves. This is Umbercore. Then we've got in the bottom side On the other team, Diesel Weasel playing also as Dark Elves. And we've got Didu playing as the Elves. We should probably do music as well. There we go. So for the Elves, we're going to see the Ranger with the Summoned Wolf. The Reaper is here for Diesel Weasel. Got the Reaper also for Umbracore. And the High Hierophant for Levatus. Definitely going to be going for the crossbow build rather than mass totems, I'm thinking. And the only real question is, what does the Ranger do? So we'll find out. I wonder whether you're going to go for a right side build where you basically look at... Oh wait, we need to swap to the view. So I'm wondering whether we are going to get some right side business where we go for the Howl ability of the summon. Maybe even Martyrial Sacrifice for the explosion there. And buffing them with Spirit Bond, also giving them some regeneration. Or whether it's just going to be all the bow business from her. I think that's probably more likely. But here is Levatus already coming in to do a little bit of bullying. The Mole Rider has been rather annoying already, slowing this hero down, allowing the Hierophant to get in first. And oh, actually Didu has lost his scout here, but Levatus is here to cause some trouble, getting that stone pole right away. And I'm not really sure that the Elves will be able to stop this, but they do have the Guardian, which should be rather helpful. Nice little knockdown here from the High Hierophant. Getting in some extra shots with that. The Guardian is super weak at this point in time, so it should be very easy for the Hierophant to just go in and finish it off, especially with the Mole Rider delivering some extra hits. The Mole Rider itself will be going down. Wolf is getting bullied a little bit by the Hierophant, probably forcing a resummon from the Ranger, but she's using just Hail of Arrows to help get that stone pole down. Really important to get out of the range of this fire totem because she's getting absolutely blasted by this thing. It's basically doubling the DPS almost of the Hierophant, actually. As for the other side, we also got a similar fight between the two Reapers. They just keep summoning undead and will be fighting over this flag. That is absolutely an equal fight. Whoever has the flag, however, will be able to do more damage to the other guy's units. It's very important to be able to plant that flag. These two are also rather on the equal end. These will be the Spectres coming in to reduce the speed of the Hierophant. That's also a really good way to deal with the totem. Just shoot it down. It doesn't have much health. Okay, Stone Pole is coming back up for the... Oh yeah, for the dwarves. And now they have an axe wielder here as well. So Didu has essentially been shut down. And Levatus can just very easily use the Godstone to go back home and come up here. But what I think he will do is actually show up at this Godstone. No, he's not doing it? What? He could have absolutely showed up here to mess up the other Reaper earlier. But I guess Umbracore did it by himself. He's also gonna get the Dark Ensign down and capture it. That's great news for Team 2. Not so much for Team 1. They both lost the side sectors to Team 2. And it's very easy for Team 2 to get up here as well after all of this. Now they're working on the bandit sectors with the iron. Levatus is at least... Umbracore already got his side of the deal. He's got frontier posts everywhere. And really the question is he gonna pivot into a Hall of Pain in order to pump out some more units? Okay, that was the opponent's flag. You're right, Levatus. Sorry. Yeah, we're casting from replay. Levatus is in the chat. I'm just smooth braining this cast. Of course, you're right. Alright, the elves are gonna get a split hunting cabin and woodcutter here. That's actually a really cool thing that you can do. Just put 3 workers into both. Don't need to do the 4 and 2 split. This is more balanced. But typically speaking, I would say elves need more wood early on. But Didu has wood. He's gonna be fine. Probably need to see a little bit of stone from them in one of these sectors. There it is. Already upgraded Shrine of Growth for that. And in the meantime, you can upgrade the main to get some more workers too. Anyways, the creeping has begun. The Medusas are getting taken on by the Dark Elves. And the Dark Elves. And now the Dwarves are joining in. So it's going to be difficult for Diesel Weasel, I think, here to stay. It's a little bit too much firepower. But guess what? He does get the scouting post. The others have to turn around. But not before they steal some experience from these Medusa, right? Right? Guys, don't leave. Absolutely worth it to kill some spiders and steal some XP. Well, now Diesel Weasel will be able to just come down here, and together with Didu, they should be able to get this done fairly easily. But the Guardians are in relatively good health. The spiders will do most of the tanking here. They're not very good at it, but they're very cheap. Much unlike the Guardians, you really don't want to lose Guardians here. Okay, level 4 is reached by the Ranger. Quite a bit better off than these guys. Levatus might be getting close to level 4 himself. But the fact that both the Ranger and the Reaper here got it is a rather large deal. The Elven sector has been denied, which is annoying for them because this is where the tier 3 resource is, so the Elves really have to take control of that eventually. And actually this one as well. So the Dark Elves taking this is not the most practical thing. They should have definitely swapped that over, knowing that these are the sectors they control. What are you doing, sir? Okay, he figured it out. There's plenty of infiltrators here, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get that Scorching Wyvern down. It's already weakened. And stuns are available, but the infiltrators are still going to eat a shot there. Quite painful indeed. Scorching Wyvern is going down rather fast to all this firepower. So will that Axe Wielder though, I suppose. Maybe not. Just about made it. That Scorching from the Fire Wyvern is actually not that strong. It's just 2 per second damage. Meanwhile, the Dark Elves here are working on the Storm Wyvern. This hurts quite a lot more. But it's just a single time damage. Doesn't last overtime. Down to like 1,000 health. Wonder what items will drop. Let's take a look. So Diesel Weasel has 5 resistance from this ring. A pretty high level as well. Didu has already bought his advanced items for the Ranger. She hasn't equipped it yet. We'll get there, I'm sure. Currently working on this Ice Wyvern, which is very annoying with the freezing. But it's just a pretty small cone in front, so as long as you stand on the sides, things are gonna be fine. And the Spectral Wolf. Ooh, actually the Spectral Wolf is boosted here by Spirit Bond, so it does regenerate a little bit. Eventually, once it's out of combat, it will heal a little bit. There we go. We've got level 6 for the Ranger here, and it's being put into Howl, Spirit of the Forest, which is actually a bear summon, and Moonwell, of course, for 35 extra resistance points on this thing, and giving it cleaving as well, together with this high health, is rather valuable. Oh, I didn't know that in the replays we actually have these signals active. Dark Elves are going to try to attack the Dark Elves. But that seems very manageable to me. Wait a second, we're going to have a Kiss of Nord there in the middle. The infiltrators have gotten very low. The weakening aura gets dodged. Didn't work out with that blood shower there, but no problem. So I'm pretty sure these guys both have essentially the same build. They didn't go for Lingering Curse, instead put 2 points in Arcane Force to make the Kiss of Nor a more powerful explosion. You basically just detonate your skeletons that you summon. Umbra Core has done much the same, but with Lingering Curse. However, for that, I think you need 3 points in deep waters. Just my thoughts on the matter. Levatus is getting kill shot level 2. He is already skilled into barrage. And like I said, he doesn't do much on the right side. He's just going into brute force here for the shotgun. He's got himself to level 3 garments, but I think Levatus is having a phase of hashtag no equip. He doesn't put on the items. He's tier 2 as well and pumping out some earth shapers. Frontier post is getting upgraded, although rotting stone is definitely not a nice thing to have there. Ooh, he's taking a big kiss off no there as these skellies explode. But the Dark Elf army is just a little bit puny. I think they can be shooed away, especially with Umbercore joining the fight. The elves have been engaging the dwarves up in the middle. There are plenty of guardians here, so I think if they fight together, they should be able to achieve a little bit more at the very least. Yeah, Levatus has just an enormous army right now. And I think he's doing rather nicely. And a bunch of infiltrators are getting picked off in the exchanges. Wardens are coming out from Didu. But it's really the bear that will be playing the pivotal role in this. With the weakening, with the Moonvel powering it up, that should be rather on the sick side. Wait, where are the elves going? They're running right through the dwarven army and they're getting barraged. The shotgun going through absolutely every unit here. The sick Kiss of Nor is taking out several of Dieselweasel's weakened infiltrators. 18% resistance reduction right there. And we've got a focus fire on the ranger, weakening. Oh, it's just one more shot and she will be going down. Lingering curse is on. That's also an 80% weakening right there, but the Hierophant gets taken down by focus fire from the Guardians, and meanwhile the Ranger does survive. Now it's 2 heroes versus 1, and even with these larger armies, you just don't want to take that kind of fight. The heroes are a very important staple of SpellForce 3. Of course, you are gonna get some multi-pronged harassment every now and then, but it's not necessarily the core of the game, especially in a 2v2 where you do need the heroes to work together. But never rule it out, never rule it out. We've got a border fortress already for the Dark Elves here in the middle. Refinery and Forge are in, so the unit upgrades can't be too far out. And we also have a bunch of Harvesters already on the field. One Spire of Souls here. The other one in the middle. It's already harvested a ton of Echo. Managing to double up on Didu there. Moonvel is on for the Spectral Bear. That's a 35% armor increase at the moment. Spirit Bond hasn't been upgraded yet, but I'm sure at some point it will. You can get this bear to ridiculous stats actually. Ooh, the Hierophant very brave to go in there, but just chugs a potion and shrugs it off. No issue at all. Kiss of Nor actually is the thing that finishes off the Dieselweasel Reaper there. Got the first of the sleepers joining into the fight. I'm not sure this is a great place for the Wardens to be. We might see a huge Kiss of Nor in the middle of this army soon. But actually the weakening was a bit too early. Oh my god. Oh my god. Did you see that? Everybody is on super low health with the shotgun coming in. I'm not sure if they actually benefited from the weakening. It basically disappeared in the same moment. But that was absolutely devastating. If only one more point is in brute force for Levatus, he takes down everybody there. I'm sure he's working towards that. Team 2 right now just has a very, very good position. Although their army isn't that much bigger than the other one, it's actually pretty close. Just these high-level heroes are rather dominating. But we got more fortified outposts for the Dark Elves now here. Border fortresses for Dieselweasel, but he's only on 3 sectors. There's only so much he can do. So his growth is going to be very minor compared to the others. Umbra Core can just pump out units way better, controlling 2 of the big iron sectors. The dwarves also are in an okay spot. Not too much iron, but they don't need too much in tier 2 at least. You can just rely on Earth Shapers instead of getting actual iron units out. Earth Shapers only cost char. But the first balls of steel, but it's getting sniped very beautifully there. Oh no, the second one is gonna detonate on the units. It's already got the knockdown bonus. Diesel Weasel actually upgraded his infiltrators to have the sprint ability. Ooh, huge kiss of Nor in the middle of those Umbra Core infiltrators. He loses his hero as well to the focus fire and the base. The elves and the dwarves are also fighting at the same time. A lot of the Earthshapers are going down, but they now have their shield. Is it going to be enough though? Because protectors are in, which are going to be able to tank a lot. Those Earthshapers still are going to be able to only do limited damage to them. Nice focusing on that Reaper. He's bleeding, but he's just about not going to go down, I think. Oh my god, wait. He survived at 1 health. You are kidding me. Oh my god. He made it out. There's plenty of basilisks around, which is going to be great in the long term because the Reaper is able to weaken enemies, right? He's got 2 skills to do it with. If these basilisks target something that has 50% reduced siege armor, that thing is going to disappear, right? So you can use that on a hero. These guys are going to be pretty capable of doing it. And of course, the main primary use is to just go after bases. He really needed that extra sector a long time ago. Didu can just retreat for the most part at the moment. Levatus has reached tier 3 and he's got his first berserkers out. The balls of steel are detonating onto workers, which is definitely not what they want to be doing. But so long as Diesel Weasel can just return to the fight and help out his elven buddy, things should be good. But that ball of steel knockdown on the Wardens is a pretty big deal. Ooh, there goes the weakening, and the magic... No, sorry, the siege damage from the Basilisk is making a huge difference in this fight. By the way, the fire golems don't have much siege resist to begin with. That's something to keep in mind as well. Reaper gets weakened, loses half his health to some Basilisk shots. This is absolutely sick. Those Basilisks are very expensive though, you gotta be careful with that. A mini soul harvest here for Diesel Weasel. He's getting his Spires of Souls up in the front, so that minimizes the travel time the souls need to take. I just don't know how you fight these berserkers at the moment, as especially the Dark Elves. The Elves can kind of handle them, they have armor. But once they have magical damage, which is exactly what Levatus is setting up for. He's got these Moonsilver mines. He is gonna be smelting them in the main base as well. He's already eaten all the stone up. But yeah, once he gets the magical axes for the berserkers, they're gonna be cutting through both the protectors and whatever the Dark Elves have. They also aren't very good at resisting magic. Even with the sleeper, it's just 0%. Yeah, balls of steel are going to be very necessary. Good weakening used with the basilisks as well. And this is going to take some more time to actually fully benefit from. Buildings are pretty expensive. Diesel Weasel doesn't have much wood right now. Ball of steel connects there with the... Oh my god. Oh my god, she was getting up. And the Hierophant knocked her back towards herself by shooting in front of her, and the focus fire from the entire army just absolutely annihilated that hero. The Dark Elves are coming in. They are tier 3. They have twisted ones. We're seeing a soul harvest in the middle of all these. The Basilisk are trying to target whatever's weak, but actually these Earth Shapers are giving a huge buff to all the nearby units, giving these 98% siege armor. That's absolutely insane. The elves are mostly stuck in between buildings. They can't attack. You really gotta fix the positions on these as Didu if you want to win the fight. So far, so good though. The elves are high enough in number to get this done. The wardens have insane firepower, and Team 2 is forced to retreat with Umbercore now just on 37 population after that. Lovatus has to carry for a little while. Wow, I like this match. This is a good one. We're also gonna get Striders now in the fight. So basically, whenever an enemy is bleeding, these guys deal some extra damage to them. And then the Twisted Ones can further exploit that by weakening the armor of the target that is bleeding or enfeebled. So they're a pretty good combination together. Once you upgrade the Striders, they can apply bleeding themselves. For now, you have to kind of rely on the Sleepers, though, to apply it with every attack. The Dark Elf army has some pretty cool synergies like that. And of course, once you have a high Twisted One number, you can just siphon the focus out of enemy heroes, preventing them from using abilities. So yeah, the Dark Elf late game is just insane. We got the magic access for Berserkers, so now they'll be doing magic damage against targets at least where magic is preferable, depending on what armor they have. Yeah, huge overwhelming dwarf force. You don't want to fight this by yourself, definitely. Lots of balls of steel backing them up as well. So I think the elves and the dark elves have to sandwich this stuff. I like the extra ballista. Those should be really good to snap the fire golems out. Oh no, the elves are so clumped up. These balls of steel are doing a lot of work here. Some of the protectors have already gone down. The dark elves are coming in for some sandwiching. And Team 2 does have to retreat up into the healing zone. It does help in the middle of combat too. So that's actually pretty meaningful. But big weakenings are coming down from both sides. Nobody's allowed to have high armor values, especially these golems. Actually, the armored from the Earthshapers kind of offsetting the Reaper weakenings. But not fully. Not fully. The Reaper is getting very high level here. Level 7 is achieved. The elves have been essentially annihilated, even though they're really strong in this phase of the game. Those protectors have put up with a lot so far, but they just can't do it all by themselves. There's just enough left here for the dwarves, especially to push on. They've got some pyromancers now. That's going to be an enormous soul harvest here for Umbracore. Yeah, that's some good stuff right there. Ranger gets sniped once more despite the higher level armor. These pyromancers are just adding in a lot of damage. They also have a small AoE, so targeting these more clumped up Dark Elf units is going to be a pretty big deal for them. The fire golems are now sieging down this border fortress, and I'm not sure the Dark Elves can hold on to this, even if they were shooting at the fire golems. I mean, how do you do that when there's so many surrounding units preventing you from just doing it? The Reaper even helps out, and that's all of the Spires of Souls getting essentially shut down. For Diesel Weasel, this might very well be the end of the game. He's going for a very good weakening. Kiss of Nor comes through, deleting most of the infiltrators. Very nicely done, but there's just too much left of the dwarves, especially. They're trying to take over this sector. The elves are coming in, and actually all of the fire golems have been destroyed. But the reinforcements from both the dark elves in Team 2 and the dwarves are just a little bit too much. Lovatus and Umbracore doing such a good job here. Spires of Souls are all getting cut down. There's so much stone here for the dwarves to enjoy. I'm not even sure Lovatus really needs it, to be honest, but he's gonna enjoy it, definitely. Maybe he didn't really need this sector, to be honest. It would have been better for Umbracore. Another huge soul harvest. He does have some unused wood buildings. That's definitely a good idea to recycle those. Another big soul harvest for him. Diesel Weasel just doesn't get the soul harvest this game, it seems. But a bunch of twisted ones. They do not have their upgrade yet. Well, what's left from here is basically Titans. I do wonder whether we get to see them, but so far doesn't look like it. It's very scarce to get tier 3 resources. This is a very interesting base for the dwarves, of course. Take it away from the elves to make sure that they themselves get the moon silver over there. Another big soul harvest for the dark elves. Oh my. It's a pretty big one. Dark elves are just so good into it, so you basically don't want to go without them. But apparently so are the dwarves. Here's the thing. The synergies are that the dark elves get to benefit from all the corpses from all the 4 people, right? They just siphon up all of this echo. As for the dwarves, their earth shapers will be buffing up both armies. And again, a huge soul harvest for the dark elves. This is what I'm talking about. You don't want to leave that to waste. They benefit from that forever. You could argue that trolls could use that as well. The corpse harvesting and whatnot. Corpse explosions as well from the troll hero. But I think on the macro scale, it's the dark elves that are really important here. And the dwarves just complement them very well with the earth shapers. Dealing with any weakenings. And the fire golems giving you some very powerful siege. And the berserkers boosting up everybody as well. So yeah, this is pretty good. Pretty good. I would love to see some Warhorn at some point. Maybe next time. But for now, Team 2, Umbercore and Levatus are gonna be victorious. The very clean late game. Well, that was really fun. I like that a lot. There is more of this, by the way. Because we have some more 2v2 here. So, yeah, why don't we just go right on ahead. Next map is gonna be Windwell Forest. Hope you guys are having fun. Please make sure to leave a like on the YouTube stream so that it gets to more people. Follow/subscribe if you haven't already. It's all free stuff. Join the Discord, send me more replays. Off we go to Windwell Forest. Welcome to yet another 2v2 SpellForce free game, also sent in by Levatus. He's right here. He's humans. He is purple. Didn't get pink this time. On the other side, his buddy Umbercore is going to be playing as the Dark Elves. And for the other team, we've got Diesel Weasel down here, playing as the Pink Trolls. And his team is Didu, playing as the Teal Elves. We got the Ranger, we got the Plaguebringer, which is going to be super good in 2v2s when using the Corpse Explosion skill. You basically get an early ultimate with that thing. We've got the Reaper, of course, for Umbercore. Lots of weakenings, giving you the ability to just nerf enemies. And we've got the Royal Mage for Levatus. Lots of AoE control, especially once you get the Absorb the Element skill. I think that's fantastic. But it will be a little bit difficult to fight the trolls with all spellcasters. We're gonna see how that goes. I personally like the more melee oriented heroes for that more. Very interesting also about this early stonecutter. Levatus keeps doing this consistently. I wonder what that's all about. Alright, the Plague Bearer will be going up north. Dark Elf's not quite engaging it. Ooh, I like this from the humans a lot. They've got some Aria, some Tiara's bathwater right here. This is a very interesting path to take in the 2v2, and I think it's working out quite nicely. Then he comes back down, having bothered these revenants into taking down the elven flag, I think there. That's what happened, right? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. This is great. Now you can just build a flag and take it over. Or not. Maybe he's gonna go into the elven woodline. But I bet he didn't expect to find the ranger. Oh no. They just teleported out. Wait, he's checking for the bandits, but they're already gone. A little bit of a battle between the Reaper and the Plaguebringer. Usually doesn't end well for the Reaper. But with the 4 undead, I would say there's some chances here. Unfortunately for him, he's already dealing with weakening. Yeah. If that hits together with some life leech, that really sucks. Well, the magic damages especially. Life leech is pure. So resist don't matter there. Alright, Royal Mage is gonna have to work on the bandits by himself. That's not great. But what managed to get done here by Levatus was that he pulled the revenants into the woodcutter, and now the ranger is forced to deal with this problem. Reaper manages to stay alive despite the addition of the smasher here. And Diesel Weasel hasn't been able to take over the sector. That's good news for the Dark Elves. They really will need that. But ultimately, going up here is not in the best interest, I think, of the Dark Elves. There's nothing in this sector. So it's more important, in my opinion, to go for this and this sector, where there's at least wood and food. And up here, there's also iron here in the corner. So that's particularly important for the Dark Elves. Of course, you need levels for both mage heroes, so working on the Ice Wyvern is also a huge opportunity. Going after the Eye Banner now, preventing the trolls from getting that. The trolls do have these pretty expensive bases, so it's a good way to limit their growth a little bit. Once again, we got a duel between the Plaguebringer and the Reaper. I don't like it. Like, you have to have some kind of support for the Reaper to do this. The Smashers are just going to be too strong alongside the Weakening. And I don't think the Reaper can make it. He's probably going to go down here because he can't teleport out. Royal Mage by himself working on the Eye Banner there. Levatus probably would want some infantrymen to help him out, and ideally the sector as well. Oh man, I really don't like that Umbrecore is fighting the trolls already. Much more important to take the back sector and the Ice Wyvern. The elves are also going very heavy on sector grabs, but they were also already cleaned up the revenants, right? So we've got the what's this called again? I wish it showed in the name when you hover it, so I don't have to always go to the skill. Spirit Bond, yes, that's what he's going for. Everything else shouldn't be as surprising. The skill builds are going to be usually pretty standard between these guys. The Plaguebringer is just going for the single target weakening, is going for disease. Oh, he loses the smasher there to the undead. That's unfortunate. Everybody just kind of taking their own side here. The elves are starting to work on tier 2. They've got plenty of iron sectors. That's these three in particular. There's 600 here. There's 500 here. 600 here. So yeah, significant stores of that. Of course, the big middle creep is very interesting to take together with the trolls, especially with the weakening available. Remember, the Plaguebringer can double weaken stuff. Once with Plague, then once with his regular attack. Novatus is playing pretty chill here, largely relying on infantrymen and arbalists for now. Ice Wyvern getting taken down by the trolls, by the elves. No help from the trolls, but they might be coming over, right? No, it doesn't look like it. We've got a howl, however, from the Spectral Wolf. It's 22% weakening. It's pretty good. But even though these guys get frozen, they gain some resistance during that, but still loses one of the boys. That's unfortunate. But level 5 is achieved for the ranger. Let's see what she does with it. Well, we can't see just yet, but he's got the full set of left side stuff. I wonder whether he's gonna go for the unending volley, but probably just gonna go into Moonwell. We'll find out later. The Lat is now working on the Revenants. We'll be achieving level 3 with this.
Our heroes grew stronger.
So the Reaper has got level 4. Umbercore picked up the Shielding Amulet. That's probably what the elves have as well. We gotta go back and check that. Now it's actually for a Ring of Nullification for them. That's a 5% resistance reduction. Basically, Umbercore ended up with the better buff. The better item. Spectral Bear is in. Probably with Moonwell. And that should be able to hold back the humans fairly easily. Here comes the weakening. But if this Shrine of Growth is not going to get upgraded, that's going to be a problem for the elves. Oh man. Several of the infantrymen are weak. Ideally, you'd be focus firing them. That could be 2 more dead. It would make this an expensive attack for the humans, and then you can just take them on directly after. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be what we're getting here. Oh, the troll's gonna come in to defend this Eye of the Tribe as well. Like, the Dark Elves are sieging this down, which is kind of wild because they're supposed to be really bad at sieging. Yeah, we've got basically 2 1v1s for ourselves here. Trolls do lose the base and Umbercore retreats. That's exactly how you should play this. He's at the moment ahead in population against the trolls, so I think he could just fight, to be honest. Levatus has taken over the sector from Didu. Definitely the 2 of them together are going to be a little bit too much for the Dark Elves to manage, but they're still pushing in. I'll just be curious, how is Didu going to save this iron base? Because it's wide open to attack. Levatus should know as well that the elves weren't around. But interestingly, he didn't go for it. He certainly had the infantryman count for it. Now it's the Shrine of Growth level 3, and the elves, if they do defend it, they should be fine. Plenty of iron mines here. 4 of them, oh my goodness. Right, Umbercore is going to be going for the Tempest Golem, it looks like. The Trolls have no chance to do the same. Knockdown is coming through from the Tempest Golem, but it's not like 100% chance, so not everybody gets nicked by that immediately. Everybody's going to be here And Trolls are a little late to the party, but yeah, it looks like Umbercore opens up very heavily on that Tempest Golem. Levatus is more than happy to help out. Currently keeping the elves away really is the mission for him. Dark Elves trying to control the middle sector, of course. We got another knockdown from the Tempest Golem. Doesn't seem that anybody really got hurt except the Reaper. Trolls are gonna have to leave. There's plenty of humans around to do both jobs. Together with the Dark Elves especially. The scouting post has been shooting pretty hard at these Wardens. And you know what? The Wardens are actually not very good against Arbalists. They don't resist Pierce. Quite the opposite, in fact. Level 6 is achieved now for Umbercore. I'm assuming he's got the item here. And the other team is just going to have to leave. Viso does have a tier 3 armor that he's not equipped. Levatus has a tier 3 weapon that he hasn't equipped. Umbercore has the ring, focus ring, that he hasn't equipped. And Didu has the notification ring he hasn't equipped. I mean, this is just hashtag no equip heaven. If I don't see that emote in the chat right now, I don't know when we will see it. Nobody is equipping their shit. I'm losing my shit. What is happening? Case of Nordair in the middle of the Skull Crushers. That hurts significantly. The base is gonna tear them down. Whatever little HP they have left. 3 kills coming through right there. But we got the tentacles of pain. And they tickled Umbercore's army a little bit. It wasn't as bad as it could have been. We still don't have Corpse Explosion, by the way. So Diesel Viso is playing nice. Or something. There are quite a bunch of corpses to use it on, so it's not about that. Sharp Eye of the Tribe is getting upgraded. It's already done in 2 places, so the trolls are slowly but surely growing. You know, the sector count isn't too bad for the trolls, honestly. Nor for the elves. So don't write off Team 1 just yet. But it is looking good for Team 2 overall. They've got a lot of map control. They've got the important resources. One thing that Umbercore really needs to get a handle on is to stop making infiltrators right now, because they're just getting wrecked by that hero. So it's better to pivot into like sleepers and whatnot. He also doesn't have wood anyway, so can't really afford them. Needs to build more stuff. Once we have border fortresses everywhere, it's a different story. But at that point, you probably want to think about tier 3. I just wouldn't recommend infiltrators against this boy. Wait, where is he going? Now back to the middle, okay. We've got a bunch of wall breakers. The infrastructure for the trolls is in a pretty good spot overall. I mean, they've harvested a bunch of scrap already. They're still... there's nothing here. But don't forget, these sectors actually have some scrap. Just not in a very convenient location. It's visible by the Dark Elves if you go up there. Levatus is just very carefully protecting this. No tier 3 for him just yet. But soon. Soon TM. He's got a huge population issue for getting a bunch of billets. So, yeah, let's see if he can get some more. He might be over making them at this moment. Maybe even recycling his foundry for it. I wonder if he upgraded his gather rates already. Maybe. It's not like a huge upgrade, but it matters. Hey, that Reaper is getting very weak. I'm getting nervous. Oh my god. 90 health. Damn it. One more shot and he'd be in serious trouble there. Even now, I'd argue that these Guardians could have turned into range mode and just finished him off. But here comes Levatus. got his icicles. He doesn't have level 5 yet, so no meteors here. But his army is pretty potent. Eventually he'll get level 5 with all the kills that can be had. Ooh, the trolls are going for a massive flank there. Double weakening on the Reaper is through. He's got essentially no armor whatsoever. I'm not even sure he's got any shopping experience here. He didn't do any oh my god. The tentacles coming through to thin out the army quite a little. Quite a lot, I would say. And of course the elves coming to clean up. More weakening on everybody. Was that an orb? I think the Plaguebringer just used an orb. Lingering Curse is in on the guy. If the Reaper double weakens something, that thing usually just goes down. If you sneeze at it. Evan army is very much intact. Didu has a commanding lead. He could probably take on both the Dark Elves and the humans together. If he wanted to, with a little bit of support from the Plaguebringer. A corpse explosion and everything's gonna change. Flesh Eater could just eat some of this stuff. There's plenty of stuff here. Okay, I don't know about fighting under the fortified outpost. That's probably a little ambitious from the elves. Especially with balls of steel coming around, potentially knocking them down. Does it have the knockdown upgrade? We're about to find out. Not yet, but it's still significant magic damage coming through. And let's not forget about that Basilisk and Kiss of Nor. Oh, that was a lot of dead elves right there. As I said, this isn't the place to be. Weakening orb again from the Plaguebringer. Interesting. But yeah, all this weakening, all this chilling, making it much more difficult for the elves to engage. They are gonna have to leave Didu down to just 84 population and dropping Diesel Weasel on just 45. These guys are absolutely nuts right now. Levatus just pumping units like there's no tomorrow. Whoa, 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 whoa. His hero gets knocked down. There's gonna be a lot of status effects on this boy. But it's not enough to finish him off. Forced a bunch of potion chugs, however. Balls of Steel didn't have knockdown still. But Umbercore is trying to establish a much higher tier army. With Basilisks, with Sleepers. And once everything here is upgraded, that's gonna be nuts. It's like a lot of border fortresses right now. The farms have been upgraded, which is actually cheaper in terms of wood than doing it a different way. Very nasty farms, by the way. I don't know what they're cooking in there, but I kind of don't want it. That's nasty, dude.
Understood. We will do as you say.
Basilisk food, I'm guessing.
Your will shall be done.
So elves are still tier 2. It's just your average Burger King. Okay. I've stopped eating that stuff ever since the recent events. No more American fast food for me.
Your will shall be done.
I used to like enjoy it on occasion, but nope. That one infantryman racking up value. Those are beetle farms. Interesting bet. Ooh, these scions almost went down to something. That could have been very bad for the Dark Elves. They are so expensive. Level 6 is achieved by the Plaguebringer. Man, why are the trolls struggling so much with the army? I don't understand. Oh, they're trying to go a little bit too hard on the magic. Right. Like, you can see here there's some scrap metal. You just gotta get some... you gotta be okay with some weaker units for a while, basically. There's nothing wrong with some skull crushers against sleepers. You can handle that, but I guess the balls could be a problem. Oh man, all the balls are killing themselves. I know it's tough, but you gotta put these things on a different control group. Imagine how much they would have helped against the elves here. Nice kiss of Nor in the middle of the army. Significantly hurting those guardians in particular. And oh, we got a huge flank from Levatus also with the army. The trolls are trying to come in to fix it. But they're gonna have to fight some Chad PNs. Oh, there's a corpse explosion! Holy cow! Immediately Levatus knows what's up and he has to run. The Dark Elves also kinda aren't able to handle this. The Reaper actually goes down. And this is a very, very easy chase to have now. The Plaguebringer is getting buffed by the Warbringer, by the way. Extra 20% damage on that corpse explosion as a result of that. If he just gets a few more corpses, it's very easy to get another corpse explosion there. But I think he just ate a meteor, so maybe not so easy. Easier said than done. If the elves were helping, then maybe it's fine. Oh, that one didn't quite hit as well. The corpses weren't under the enemies. Hey, the Plaguebringer is getting very weak here. Gotta be careful. The elves, meanwhile, trying to clean up this top base. There are 3 Dark Elf watchtowers, and they're all doing magic damage. Levatus teleports on top of it, but not with his whole army. What happened there? He's trying his best. His Royal Mage, however, is getting sniped by the Ranger with the repeat fire. And as much as the elves have cleaned up, they're now gonna have to deal with all these buildings giving the fire. Ooh, the allies are getting buffed by an additional 9% resistances. That's neat. Border Fortress getting repaired as hard as it possibly can be, but the trolls are gonna be a little bit too much for this. That's a lot of resources for these guys to benefit from, especially the elves, who are gonna get all the wood here. That will pay for the iron mines. And then they themselves can build a large tier 2 army from here on. They have the food for it. Well, to be honest, they had the wood anyway. Well, they're definitely powering up, and the trolls are in a great spot as well. They can eat all the corpses, denying the Dark Elves the Soul Harvest. Ooh, he's got a 10 stack on this Bone Hexer. That's sick. You can turn that into a cup of Mugwa at some point. Not anytime soon, though. There's the Tainted Obelisk. The trolls also have a bunch of small tribe shelters around, obviously. But this is starting to get a much, much better tier 3 army now. He's got a bunch of flag bearers. He's got the champions upgraded for the next fight. And I'm guessing he's going to be starting to work on some mages. Some mentalists. At some point it should happen. Okay, but do the Dark Elves go in at the same time for a big fight? No, the trolls are eating even more. I'm not sure it's a great idea to take a fight at this point. Diesel Weasel is at 154 population. Didu is at 143. So the elves giving the phalanx buff to everybody, even the trolls, is absolutely insane. In fact, you know, I kind of wonder how good of a combination the elves and the dwarves together would be, just in terms of resistances, with the protectors and the earthshapers working together, giving everybody 40% extra resist. That's just insane, isn't it? Is that actually better than what the Dark Elves and the dwarves together can do? Is that the sickest combination or what? Got a boom dropper. Didn't expect that. I guess they could go harass a little bit. Shut down one of the iron mine locations. Force some towers up, but they're not very useful for the fighting. And the trolls are gonna teleport out of this. This was a little bit over ambitious. There's no echo here for the Dark Elves. Need a druid squad as well. Oh my god, imagine the trolls getting supported by druids. Especially these warbringers with their infinity health. Alright, here we go. Big battle in the middle. There's gonna be a meteor. Oh! 3 trolls and a bunch of elves going down immediately from that. Corpse explosion doesn't quite do what it was supposed to do. The enemy walked out of it. But you catch a fight like that, it will just, it will just reduce the echo available to the Dark Elves. So that's a pretty big deal. The corpses and the echoes are like a shared resource between these two factions. Can they eat the corpses quick? No, the Echo Harvest is in. They're doing the best they can, but much of the Echo is already gone. Dark Elves got a lot out of this. Ambercore already had like 80 plus Echo. Gearing up for the next fight. There's not much Dark Elf here, you guys. I'm very worried for them. The Elf and Troll army together are just enormous right now. It's all about those AoEs coming through or not. The Balls of Steel are doing a great job knocking them down, but they're not affecting half the army even. And the Royal Mage got sniped immediately as I was out of position. We've got a massive corpse explosion once again. And Umbracore's army is all that's really left. Levatus has disappeared from the map. Only 48 population remains for him. Another corpse explosion comes through. And what remained of the Dark Elves is now also gone. It's just a hero. And we should be probably seeing the other team tapping out as Team 1, Didu and Diesel Weasel absolutely clean up here. Now, not many elves are left, but I mean, they got the job done. And there's more coming. The middle sector is Elven. So even the Lenya resource would have been available for later. Yeah, very well done. Diesel Weasel was super struggling earlier. That was not looking good for him. But he recovered. He built up this massive mage army. He ate all the corpses. Powered himself up. And made the biggest difference ever. Beautifully done. Alright, we've got some more games. And I've got some more energy. So how about we carry on? Because why not? We can just do it. Elf-fed trolls versus Burger King-fed elves. Who will win? That's obviously the trolls. Although they're like kind of passively eating Burger King, I suppose. Just down the supply chain. Anyway, let's go to Evergreen Forest for another match. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Evergreen Forest. In this match, we've got ourselves Lusty playing as the orcs. And on the other side of the map, in the teal, this is Didu playing as the elves. He's the one who sent this replay, so thanks very much for that. And you guys at home can also do that. Send me your replays in my Discord, privately or publicly, I don't mind. Archdruid for the elves. Goblin Warlock for the orcs. Both of these will be going to the front, of course. And just a little bit of annoyance. If the Pathfinder can get a single hit on one of these undead, the Goblin Warlock will not make it to level 2. And in the next sector will be a little bit slower to gain that. He has to actually get a kill then. But the Pathfinder is actually heading for worker harassment, so that's also a very valid use of his time there. I just think it's worth stopping by for that one whack. Now the elves will be getting some wood here, supposedly this area. The builder is of course triple woodcutter. For the orcs it's more like 5 woodcutters and 2 hunting cabins. That's exactly what we're looking at. There's 1 worker remaining later that will be either used for stone or... Reindeer down. Could be used for stonecutter or for the war pit. Not sure it's making some good progress here. It's about the same speed as what the goblin is doing. But you could argue that the elves have a better time fighting against creeps. Especially when it comes to the harder ones like Medusa. There's just more single target damage in the Archdruid, and of course the Guardians are better units as well than the Gobos would be. So you get that handful Guardians early on by focusing on your hunting cabin, and you steal the Medusa sector, then I think you should be having a pretty good time with the Archdruid, especially if you get a good level 5 timing out of that by also going for your own Medusas after. Once he has level 5, he can go to an easy level 7 or even 8 by... Level 8 I think is what happens when you get both Adamantium Golems, right? Look, this guy can unlock Crushed Spirits, okay? You don't have to go for Ellen's Wrath while you're clearing Golems, because you just upgrade this, you get a ton of Brute Force. And that should work very, very nicely. You don't need 3 Hands Grasp either early on, right? So you can just go all power, speed up your creeping, and get that attempt going. Of course, the orcs will be on your ass, but there's only so much they can do with goblins. The actual hero, however, can threaten your guardian boys, of course. That's something to watch out for. But once they're in tier 2, the orcs are a lot scarier, so maybe just focusing purely on the hero isn't the way to go. But it's a goblin warlock, right? What can he possibly do single target to your high level archdruid? It's not like the high damage tier 2 army gets the support of an occultist who can pull in your hero and then snipe him. So that would be my thesis for this matchup. Warg Rider might be picked off here by the Medusa. Obviously a massive slow from these ladies is coming through. It looks like it's not gonna be allowing for the elves to come over anymore. They're struggling enough on their own side. This is gonna be a level 4 versus level 4 setup, but tell you what, the orcs definitely can't handle the golems. Honestly, the elves might have to go like double food in order to get the steal more easily, but yeah, Didu just wanted to build his own side of the map out, rely on good old late game, or at least mid game power spikes, and play with that. Medusa is down. We've got all the pots on both sides. No pots left behind. That's great. And just taking a look at what happened with the skills, there's 2 more points left. Lusty hasn't gone for any arcane force, interestingly. He might do now, but I think he's gonna mix that with totemic might. I'm always surprised when people don't go for Totem of Vex. It's actually very, very impactful with the 20% movement speed reduction. And even just the 15% base enfeeble is sick. Okay, the dude has only 3 Guardians. That's not a lot. That's really not a lot. Scoundrel count isn't super high, but you could technically just shut down hunting in one of the bases. That's already some decent damage if you can get it. Didu's completely idle, waiting with 4 Guardians for something to come his way. I think with 4 Guardians you're gonna want to take on the Golems. With 6 it's more doable. Base is under attack. Oh, he's upgraded to a Shrine of Thorns? What? No way. No way that's serious. He can't have clicked that on purpose. Chain Lightning is connecting to all of the hunters. They can take it. He is actually upgrading it to a Shrine of Thorns. He is gonna let it finish. Oh man. Is that on purpose? There's no way. But it will certainly make the orcs leave, right? But as a result, all the workers will be removed from the base. That's a little bit unfortunate. The orcs did the damage, they shut down the economy, and they're forcing the upgrade to be paid for again. That's an interesting defense right there. Never seen that before. You see 4 workers in the hunting cabin? Well, yeah, they're still showing up, but like they're dead. I'm sure they're removed, yeah. See? It said hunting cabin requires workers. Now they're getting added one by one. Okay, the orcs are now working on these side sectors. Tier 2 is being unlocked. The elves aren't doing that just yet. In fact, we're not going to have any stone for any other sector upgrades. Wait, he has 17 stone? How? Where did he get stone? Oh, down here! Of course. Didn't notice that building. Nice little harass group from Lusty. He might be coming back down here. There's a lot of orcs that died here, or gubbos. But I think it's been worth it. You can just keep the elves home. Nobody's daring to go up against the golems. Not even thinking about it. Upgrading these iron sectors in advance is a pretty good idea, especially the safe ones. But you might want to get the front one as well, just to make sure. Yeah, it's coming. At this point, a bunch of extra war grinders are never a bad idea. You're gonna be floating food as the orcs gather food very quickly, and then you'll have to spend your wood and stone on iron sectors, iron mines that is. Nobody went home to shop so far, I think. Yeah, this is a base druid and base goblin warlock. No items have been upgraded. Okay, that's definitely enough guardians to think about the golem now. We'll take some micro, but it's worth it. Hit squad switching sides. And it's grown. It's now 6 gubbos. Oh, they're just going straight down the middle, trying to destroy this iron sector. It's a good idea. Fortified outpost coming in. But not before 2 scoundrels are made. But is Lido gonna react to this? Oh, wow. He had an opportunity there. 1 woodcutter for 1 iron sector. There's no way the scoundrel can fight him. Druid is just way too good at this. Harass groups getting into the iron mine area. Yeah, that's gonna be difficult to face off against. He'll have to send some specific boys to just deal with that. Maybe even 3 guardians would be needed. Orcs getting added. We've got 2, 3 iron mines. That's it? No more? I'm guessing there'll be more here soon. Some iron up front.
More complicated than I thought.
Nobody wants to go on business. Alright, let's see what the upgrades are doing. The War Pit's now coming in. Bloodforge is coming in as well. We've got a Sanctum for the Elves, which should mean that all the iron sectors are going to be worked on. All the... Oof, minus 60 wood. Typical elf gameplay. The scoundrel can just run away. There's no need for them to mess with this too much. He's gonna just teleport on this. He just wants to build up his big tier 2 ball, okay? There's nothing special to be seen here. Healing coming through for the Guardians. Some of them will be going down, but that's okay for them. I think they're having a great trade with the Orcs, though. This is very, very advantaged for the Elves. And with that, I think the Archdruid should be much ahead in terms of experience as well. Yeah, he's very, very close to level 5, at which point the Scoundrel no longer are much of a factor. Look at all those Scoundrel on the ground. Defended that very, very nicely for sure. But back are the Scoundrel to do some more harassment in the Iron Mine area, and there's no defenders. Gonna keep it pretty vanilla. Blood of the Horde upgrade is coming in. And we're also gonna get Sharp Eyes, we're gonna get Strength in Numbers, Fight for the Cowl, and Zarek Steel, all queued up at once. Now Scoundrel are handling themselves by attacking the Shrine of Growth. Now the cleanup is gonna be pretty quick. Another big attack is getting put together. Wargrider are very high in number here. And once they're upgraded, they actually make for a pretty powerful unit. They are now 700 health and 60 pierce damage. Quite a lot. Very comparable to the Guardians. And they're more mobile. Of course, the elves are gonna come out with a bunch of wanderers already, able to shoot through several targets at once. Shrine of Growth is helping some extra as well on top of everything. I think the elves might need a little bit of support from protectors, and they're just not out yet. It's gonna take them a little bit longer. Archdruid doing his very best to just tank the damage against the Vorg Riders, but it's a little bit hard, and he doesn't make it. He goes down after the snipe from the Goblin Warlock especially. Protectors are now out, however, so they should be able to hold the ground for the elves. I think he should turn around to fight this, honestly. Very awkward positioning, but not every unit shooting. Very lined up at the moment. At least the orcs aren't doing that much damage. This Shrine of Growth is now getting upgraded as well. The Archdruid is going to be pretty close to level 5. I'm wondering whether this Goblin Warlock will actually summon in the Golem or not. Wow, that Protector gets away with 22 health. That was close. The Orcs ultimately have to run, but really their objective was to buy time so that they could come back with an even stronger army. And at least I think that should be the case. We still don't see any hunters or brutes getting produced, although they're unlocked. Oh, there's a brute getting made at the moment. But it should be the last wave of trash. And we're gonna have a golem summoned as well. So Lusty will be able to tank the big golem with the small golem, supposedly. While taking it down with the rest of the army. Has very strong resist against Pierce, so these Warp Riders aren't gonna be the very, very best to deal with it. 65 attack at the moment. But they're so numerous that it kind of works. Scoundrel have to be a little bit more careful. If they take that bleeding, a lot of their health is going to be lost to this. Brute adding in its damage. The elves are here, however, to deal with the situation. There's no counter to them here. Especially once everybody gets buffed up by the protectors, that's a pretty big deal. And the orcs leave, as they should. What was the item there? Level 7's unlocked already by Lusty. Oh, he's got Noria's command. That's so sick. And he's got almost 12,000 gold. So a full kit of armor, weapon, rings is absolutely doable. He's got 4 points ready to just dump into Arcane Force and supposedly Totemic Might. Maybe he'll get these level 2s as well for the other stuff. But yeah, he's got Chain Lightning level 2. He hasn't gotten Summoning Totem just yet. We'll see if he does. Didu is on level 5. He unlocked himself Ellen's Wrath. This game absolutely didn't go the way I suspected it would. I thought Didu would be the one to go after the golems and use his meme beam to weaken it, but no, not the case. Protector halfway sniped. In a few moments she had an encounter with the army. They go together, there's so much tank here. That's what they are best at. So many protectors now. The orcs have to respect this. They can't fight the elves directly now. But they're gonna try. Oh, Vombo combo is coming down on those gubbos and they're melting away. Getting a little bit of healing here for the orc units, including the Inferno Golem. But it can only take so much. The elves are gonna deal with it fairly easily. I'm gonna be sending the orcs back where they came from. Only a handful of protectors died, so this is a really good engagement for the elves, really. And you can heal them up with the druid. He's level 6 now, and he's got 4 points in brute force. This is only gonna get better. Lusty still hasn't spent all the points. He's got his level 2 healing totem. His level 3 totemic might for a little bit of regeneration on top when the army is near the totems. Really needs to go to the shop, I think. I don't understand the Pester choice. Although I guess he doesn't have iron. 2 iron mines here. 1.5 really. 3.5 here. And 3.5 here. Yeah, that could be better. But it's tier 3. And it's starting to get that tier 3 infrastructure going. We've also got a lot of Black Ash collection happening at once. My goodness. Yeah, the elves are going for their own golem. Protector can, for the most part, just tank this. Well, the bleeding definitely hurts. The healing should mostly outdo it. One of the protectors might go down here in front. Trying to get her out, and the golem does retarget. Item is unlocked. It's gonna be the Ring of Serenity, not as lucky as his opponent here.
The outpost has been built.
Definitely should pick up Crushed Spirits in order to deal with that hero. Mombo combo is being set up and detonates at least a handful of Scoundrel and Goblin Pesterer. A lot of the protectors are in the back, not quite fighting. Sending them up front would be fantastic. But I think the elves might be just high enough in numbers anyway. Like, there's not a lot of tier 2 orcs here. Certainly no tier 3 orcs. Great obliterate from the archer. He's forcing the entire army to follow him as he pulls back. If he just regroups and goes again, this is looking really good for the elves. Well, the orcs have all border fortresses now, so they no longer need as much wood for the rest of the game. They can start focusing on iron and black ash stuff. Now, it should mean that we're gonna have... Oh, wyverns, interesting. I also love me some titans later in the game, but the elves are certainly not there yet. They're working on tier 3 now, and they're gonna have both of these Lenya sectors as well as the stuff back home. But if it ever changes hands, then the orcs will be able to take over that for their own black ash. Which actually matters quite a bit. Okay, some scoundrel getting sent down supposedly into the iron sectors again to do some harassment. That's very nice to see from Lusty. The Vibrants are out, but not yet upgraded. Hunters have got their upgrades. It looks like it's 2 damage and armor upgrades so far. No, but Wyvern special upgrade is nothing, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, Gobbles went to the wrong place. Or they could keep going, no? Oh, sorry, not this way. Not this way. There's no exit. Wait, what's that? Oh, it's just the leaves flapping in the water. That's interesting. Never noticed that before. The map does have some Easter eggs up on these cliffs. There's like a bunch of hung humans. It's an Easter egg right there. Anyway, fighting is starting up. Let's watch that. It's still all the Wyverns doing the magic damage. That's going to be a bit tough for the Protectors to deal with as they don't resist it. But the number of Wyverns isn't that high just yet. Wombo combo coming through on the Vorg backline. And as long as the Wardens get targeted onto the Wyverns, I think that should be fine for them. The Orcs are kind of getting crushed here. So without focus fire on the Flyers, I think Didu is going to be in trouble. But it really doesn't seem to be too much of a problem. Shamans are in. And the Elves can now try to take the border fortress down. That's looking good. Level 9 unlocked for the Archdruid. He does finally have Crushed Spirits and a full wheel of Brute Force. A full wheel of Concentration as well. Minus 36% on those ability cooldowns. Only with 2 Deep Waters. I don't think he can keep that completely going, but it's gonna be close. Can he actually get in a second cast of Ellen's Wrath with that? So it lasts, it takes 12.8 seconds to come off cooldown, and Ellen's Fire level 2 gains 15% duration. So with 1 Ellen's Fire and Trian's Grasp, and supposedly also Nature's Gift, you could get 2 Ellen's Wraths out of that. That's amazing. But you will need to go into level 2, which will require you to basically go for your skill potions in the shop. Could even do something absolutely crazy and just go to the enemy shop to take the skill potions from there, but easier said than done. There is a shop, to be fair, over here in the golem sectors. There's plenty of skill potions around. We got the first war trolls out for the orcs. A really good run-by unit, but not so good for the direct fights. Not with the wardens around that just do massive magic damage that they can't resist. Didu being very defensive, sending his entire army to this little harassed group of gubbos. I would have liked that to be just like 2 protectors or something. Why is he recycling everything? Oh, he's going like into negative 90 wood. Because I guess he wants to get Lenya, right? Yeah, the Lenya is going to be a very big transition. Especially for the purification to be set up. Orcs are slowly gathering their strength. But this time they have some pretty decent army. Like all these shamans are gonna be decent. You gotta add some pesterers to them with their oil upgrade. And then all these fire units, the wyverns and the shamans, can actually detonate that oil and ignite enemies for 50 arcane. 50 magic damage per second. I really like these little gobble harass groups. They're getting good value for their costs. All the health just teleporting around, man. Right, this orc army is starting to look a little better over time. There's still way too many scoundrels. They're not gonna add much to the fight anymore. Not with these Protector Giga Trixies being up. No Lenya being gathered from this just yet. But I suppose these 2 purifiers should be enough. Scoundrel once again cleaning up the iron mines. Not bad at all. Why not just put down a tower here? Then you don't have to move the army around. I guess he doesn't have wood. And has like 1,000,000 food. Okay, we're gonna fast forward this one. Oh, right as I click it, we're gonna get some action. Isn't that funny? Wait, no, we're not. Not just yet. Actually, yes. Okay, Iron Mine is getting bullied. And we might just get our first big fight in a while. Are they gonna go for it, though? I don't think the orcs should go for it. This is gonna be way too difficult for them. The Protectors are now upgraded to their tier 3 variant. 1950 hit points and an extra 5 resistance on them. So on the front line they have 50 strike resist and pierce resist. Only the magic can still get through it. And seems to me that the orc magic backline is getting picked off also. The Vombo combo coming through on them, forcing them away. Barely any elves have died, although there's a bunch of protectors dead. The bulk of them is still standing. And they can do this all day. Forcing the orcs back again. I gotta say though, the goblins are doing a good job with the iron mines. Eventually they'll take it all down. Not that the elves are desperate for iron. They've kinda gone out of iron, to be honest. Focusing a bit more on the Lenya these days. They're still struggling to build all those. I wonder what happened with the wood for the elves. Oh, they didn't recycle the woodcutters. Nor did they turn them into foresters. That would be actually good use. Okay, this is too peaceful for me. Fast forward, very fast forward. Nobody wants to fight. We just saved ourselves a minute there. That's a lot of hearts of the forest. Oh my god, we're gonna get chill chickens. Maybe. We'll see if it comes to that. I mean, there's plenty of protectors still alive, and they're very unlikely to die once the upgrade hits. I think we might need another fast forward because Dido is heading all the way home. And you just know he's not going to get any new units. Oh my god, it's a Titan! We did not get a notification for that. He's just boosting all his allies. That's not me going on fast speed. That's what's normally happening here. Very nice to see the Titan. But unless he gets kills, he's not going to get faster attacks. He's got 1 stack so far. We've got a bunch of Vintu Mages coming in now. Everybody's upgraded, including the Wardens and the Wanderers. And the Titan's getting nerf beamed into oblivion. He has no health. No resistances essentially during that. This also opens up the window for the Shamans and the Hunters to start to do some actual damage to the Elves as the Titan just tanks it all. He's got 3-4 kill stacks at the moment, but the weakening is just a little bit too much. His damage is heavily reduced during the nerf as well, and the Chill Chickens are now in to try and make a difference. I didn't notice the resources going down there for the Titan, but as you can see, it managed to clean up all of the Elven army, so it was actually cost effective. Unfortunately for them, the Goblin Warlock has gone down, and now we've got an Elven army in the middle of the Iron Mine area, and with supposedly additional Chill Chickens coming soon. Never mind, all these Hearts of the Forest are actually idle. So what is happening? Ooh, Titan for the Elves, interesting. Are the Orcs trying to remake the Titan? Doesn't look like it. They don't have the economy for that. No wonder it's Evergreen Forest. You can't really save up that many resources very easily. Okay, I did not expect a Titan there. Anyway, Titan is ready to go for Dido. A bit of double speed here. Oh, there it is. There we go. Tree ants in the party. Gonna be a long walking distance to the fight. And I'm sure the scoundrel will try to create some chaos. But how the core army will defend against the elves now, I don't know that. This is barely tier 2.5. Here he goes. Yeah, he walks funny. It's like he's rooting himself. We also have a store-bought Noria's command for the Archerate, by the way, so his Ellis Wrath is actually pretty strong. And this guy can stun enemies in a pretty huge radius.
Our workers are under attack.
I think we might have the Winter Mage upgrade as well. No, we don't. But are we gonna? No, it's not queued just yet. But basically the Winter Mages can freeze enemies around them, so that's pretty potent if it comes down to it. There's the normal attack for the tree ant. No stun just yet. I think it should be happening though any moment. Archer got a Wombo combo off, but I think what we're gonna see is just the border fortress getting attacked as the orc army is way too small. The little harassment play is neat, but I just don't think anything will be happening there. Ice Phoenixes are still in pretty low numbers. There's definitely not going to be a focus on them. They're just the extra DPS on top of the army without needing to bump into all the melee units and whatnot. It's just nice to have something up top as well. Shame we didn't get the Titan versus Titan fight. And I don't think we're gonna at this point. Dido seems to be just building up his forces to a degree that the orcs can't handle. Vulture's getting picked off one after the other. They have some pretty good resist after all the upgrades, but there's only so much they can do. The elves have a lot of magic to them, and they have very high attacks, these Winter Mages. Archery at level 10 as well is just an absolute monster. Oh, you can just get in the middle of all that? That's nuts. Yeah, best idea for the orcs at this point is to just keep resummoning that the golem, get as many shamans as possible, and then add in some scoundrel for the ignition damage. Plus, he does have resources as well for tribe totems, but it's just difficult to feed it when you have so little income. Doesn't have the side bases, right? So the elves are just absolutely drowning in Lenya leaves. Ugh, and those wombo combos are just wiping the army out. No chance. Didu is victorious in this one. Well done. GG. Yeah, it's difficult to play the orc endgame against that hero. Look at that hero damage at the end. 110,000, my goodness. No need to apologize, by the way, Didu. You have done well. Look, the elves, they benefit from making the game longer against the orcs. So you've not done anything strategically wrong. I think the main thing is that when you react to like 4 scoundrel running around your base with the entire army, that's definitely bad. So I think that's the main thing to work on, but you don't need to apologize for making a game long against the orcs. That just makes sense. just try to be proactive with like a handful of towers in your iron bases, then they can't sit scoundrel in it. I think it's so much more practical like that. Okay, we've got another Evergreen Forest game, and then that's gonna be it for me today. One more. Welcome to another match here on Evergreen Forest. We've got ourselves in the red color a dwarf player Ulfric Zakchar, and his opponent on the other side of the map playing as the orcs. This is Attack Speed Enjoyer. He's the one who submitted the replay to me actually, so thank you very much for that. We've got the Warrior of the Depths. Yes, the Occultist. Oh wait, what happened here with the start? I think Attack Speed Enjoyer is just delayed a little bit with everything. All these buildings should be made already. But no big deal, no big deal. As long as he can do orc stuff, he should be fine. And I don't think this is going to be a particularly aggressive game. It's Evergreen Forest, right? We should be okay. Attack Speed Enjoyer is going, of course, for good old Demonic Pact. Oh no, he's taking like 600 damage! Yikes! Yeah, if you walk out of the area, that's a problem. That's why you typically want to go and hug the flag location, then you don't have to walk. But Mole Rider versus Warg Rider. I think the Mole Rider wins this one. Just got a little bit more armor. Yeah, for this matchup, it's like 50% more armor than the other guys, so yeah, you don't want to fight this with the Warg Rider directly. You also get slowed down, so you actually get caught if you're not careful. Just about manages to escape. For the Warrior of the Depths, we got an early pick of Relentless Rage that will make him more powerful with subsequent attacks for his weapon attacks. We of course got Inspiring Presence to give him some focus. Sweeping Strike, no Head Splitter, very interesting. So technically against these zombies you don't super need it. But against the Medusa I would say you do. So I'm gonna be really curious to see if he picks it up or not. But yeah, against the zombies it's not super important. Cotis comes through the back. Picking up the all-important iron sector. Cuts down the zombos very quick. Oh no, he's walking out again. Oh boy. That is another 400 damage. I suppose if you just regenerate it, it's fine, but that's gonna take a long time. You're gonna have to fight Medusa soon, so that's definitely at least one potion down the drain. Good news about the Occultist though is you can just sell the potions, right? The focus potions, you don't need them. This guy doesn't have focus. Doesn't use them for the skills. The skills require health. So if you sell them all, that's basically an extra potion, so technically losing this health to move a little faster isn't gonna hurt. But anyway, the dwarves are already working on this. I have no idea who this dwarf guy is, but realistically it's probably Don Hyperion with the funny names. That's usually what happens, right? I'm pretty sure. He says, nah, not me. To be fair, the burden of proof is on the accuser, so I don't have anything for you guys. Sorry. Are we gonna see any orc units to help with the Medusa? Okay, some scoundrel are coming out, but meanwhile, the dwarves have already cleaned up here. If they're skipping all the sectors, they can just go down here and steal some Medusa. Shouldn't be very difficult. Already level 4. Very neat. Level 5 is very doable if you just steal 2 Medusa. After that, it's just a handful of scoundrel left. Didn't see a teleport to make this quicker. You basically, you're supposed to like teleport back to this sector, then go to the Medusa. That's the fastest way to get that done. Anyways, the orcs are gonna get started on this. Cleaving through 2 Medusa at a time, of course. Not letting them bleed too long. He wanted the health now. Ideally, you wait a little bit, but to be fair, he was getting a little low there. The other 2 Medusa are joining the battle, and Warrior of the Depths is pretty close. I don't think he will get to steal a significant amount of XP here, though. The Occultist is doing rather well here with the support to take them all down, and the Medusa are kind of spreading their damage this time. Not really trying to focus anybody down. But the dwarves might steal the sector. That would be sick. This is only sector number 3 for them, so I think it's possible to. Resource-wise, we're looking right as well. There's a little bit of stealing going on, but just like for one single hit. It's all about taking down the scoundrel now. He does have Head Splitter, definitely. And the Occultist will be a difficult opponent here. He achieves level 4 in the end. Should be absolutely no problem to chug some potions and to eventually work on this flag. But with so many axe wielders around, it might be actually just difficult. The axe enjoyer might have to pull back. Getting pretty low on health there. Another potion gets chugged. Base is upgraded now. Warrior of the Depths doesn't need to sit in this. Oh god. One of the axe wielders got chopped down. That's a very important sector to get. Well done to our dwarf player. We've got a single stone hole up already in this second base. And we're gonna get another in the back sector, interestingly. No. Plenty of work left to do for the dwarves to take over other sectors. He's not going to use the teleport because he wants to be able to come back here in case it's necessary. Tier 2 is being achieved by the orcs. Slowly being worked on. But we don't have any pre-upgraded iron sectors just yet. So these are very low tier scouting posts and whatnot. Eventually we'll need to become fortified outposts. So that's going to be pretty expensive, but the attack speed enjoyer does have the wood for it. Not so much the food, but he's getting there. If he doesn't spam Warg right now, he can do that. Next priority will be iron. Doesn't have a lot of stone though, so again, that's a bit of a challenge here. Only one stonecutter I can see. No, there's two. But is that really enough? Bear in mind, by the way, these dwarf sectors in tier 1 are really tiny, so you can't surround them very easily. And they're pretty tanky too, at 5,000 health. Compared to the orc one, it's the biggest difference. 3,500 on the orc one. So this is actually pretty difficult to siege down. And the dwarves can just teleport back here to defend. I'm pretty sure it should take a moment to get this stone pull, but then it's time to go. Make sure to save this. Well, actually with the frontier post now done, maybe because that gets repaired faster, they actually have time to get the last flag as well. They'll be doing that. But this thing is going to be on like under 25% health by the time that's done, so will they actually save this? A lot of stone went into this, so I think the dwarves should save this. Where's the teleport? Okay, here we come. The sector will go down. It's pretty expensive stuff. Attack speed enjoyer is definitely going to commit to that now. But the flag is getting planted by the dwarves. Nice little pull stasises the warrior of the depths for a moment, so he couldn't finish the flag fully. And the occultist just heals himself back up to full. Getting pretty weak. Doesn't have another siphon ready to go. The dwarves are trying to pull him out of his little circle, but unfortunately for them, he was just in there with relative comfort levels. I'm not sure if the occultist has any more potions left. There is a potion right here. Who's gonna pick that? Looks like the warrior of the depths. But wait a second. The orcs are starting to win against the axe wielders. There looked to be enough scoundrel in general, and the occultist manages to chug one more potion to potentially save his life with. Oh, he's getting very, very low. He has one more potion left. And the warrior of the depths has 3. He can kill every single one of these scoundrels and just keep going here. Just don't try to fight the occultist, there's no point. Yeah, he's fine. More scoundrels going down. Let's compare experience. It's like 4.6. Very similar between these two players. And the orcs take over. At great cost, mind you, but this is going to be rewarded by a ton of stone for them. So they can lay off the stone after this. At least a little bit. The lumber mill, of course, very weak. Attacking it with just 2 sentries is already a big deal. So like putting like, let's say an axe wielder or 2 in every base, just going after the lumber mills could be actually a pretty relevant strat. If you can control all that. Gonna have to deal with repairs as well, but I'm sure some people can do it. I'm just kind of crazy about these worker harassment plays, to be honest. It might not be very reasonable of me. Just tickles to pickle. Triple iron mine here for the dwarves. It's a long walk time. Oh, wait, the orcs are gonna actually take the adamantium golem. I don't think they're ready for it. At least it's gonna hurt a lot. Ooh. Big spinny. Scoundrel getting low. That bleeding lasts a long ass time. And don't forget the regular attack cleaves. These scoundrels are getting beaten up badly. It's 4 targets per. There's plenty of adamantium golem left here. Ooh, is he gonna sense a disturbance in the force, I think. He's gonna sense it. Oh my goodness. The hero goes down, attack speed enjoyer, no! No, you've handed them a gift. That's gonna be a very easy golem to take down now. Oh boy. Yeah, I think the dwarves should just go for it. Oh man, even more gobbles going down. Scouting post is probably gonna be toast. Let's see if this adamantium golem actually regenerates a little bit. It's a slow regen, not the you pulled me out of my base regen. That's different. Wait a second, he's gonna get back to hero? That's insane. Oh my god, the scouting post held. It wasn't even getting upgraded. If the dwarves just attacked it, it would have gone down and then there's no hero, but attack speed enjoyer is back. He's got an armor, tier 3 armor. And, well, he shouldn't be walking out of the magic circle, but he did. And the adamantium golem is down to just 3,700 health. The attack speed enjoyer is trying to pull it into the dwarves. So far, so good there. A little bit of life leeching from the blood. The dwarven printer is going absolutely nuts. Tier 2 has been in for a while. Plenty of earth shapers. That occultist armor, it's so strong with depth resilience too. Imagine how strong you'll be with level 3. You just can't kill the thing. Maybe deployed sentries could. We'll see if it actually gets to that point. Interesting to see Brutes getting used. Ooh, great life leech there. Fire Golem adding in their punches. Ooh, Cultist is running out of the... He's dead. He's dead. He can't do that. Warrior of the Depths reaches level 5. And with that, he can unlock his precision stance. He can unlock his disruptor skills. That's exactly what's going to be happening.
This isn't good. Someone heal me.
He doesn't go down. Has 2 more pots ready to go. And these little shieldings are very, very useful too. But finally, it's like much better units coming out of attack speed enjoyer. He probably can't deal with this adamantium golem without the hero, which is a little difficult. I mean, when is the hero coming even? It's 80% done. Maybe he can lure it a little bit further out. And then just teleport the hero here, then he should be close enough to benefit from the XP. He's losing all the scoundrel in this process. I don't like it. Down to just 1,000 health. If the dwarves as much as poke at this thing, it's going down. Teleportation is done. Just gotta be really careful to not lose the item to it. Oh my god, it's gonna be close between these two. There's definitely gonna be a fight over who clicks the item. Oh, wait. The dwarves are looking around elsewhere. Ooh, that's very unfortunate for them. They're teleporting home. They think it's all gone already, but it was right here. Okay, Trixie attack speed enjoyer is getting this item out of it. It's unfortunate for him. It's the omnipotence amulet, so it's giving him some focus and health. The health is great. The focus useless for the occultist. Unfortunate there. Unfortunate, but sometimes you get what you get. Going through the Godstone. That means back home. There's plenty of gold here on the hero, so I'm curious what kind of shopping he'll do. Probably sell the pots, sell the old armor, buy some healing pots. So it should be a pretty simple job. Maybe you can buy the Blood Blessed Claymore. Well, don't buy 2 rings of nullifications. That doesn't stack.
A fair offer.
Uh-oh.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Best wares from Kalea to Northampton.
Somebody get me new ones.
Okay, he only bought one. He only bought one. Thankfully. I wonder if he sold it back. That happened very quickly. I didn't notice if he actually sold. We got the fire golems here ready to siege the adamantium golem, who has minus 20% siege resist, so it's a really good way to take him on. But you know, with the dwarves, you already got like earth shapers. They can just bring up your protection aura. You can kind of take it to the chin. You can even upgrade your axe wielders to do it a little bit better in their recovery stance. We don't see that very often, but I wish we did. It's really cool. Mantium Golem getting taken down by the orcs, it looks like here. The occultist is in the middle of the fight. We'll be taking that pot. Not pot. Something much better than a pot. It is Noria's command. Holy cow. His skills are now 25% stronger. Demonic Pact is giving him 206% damage. And he hasn't even spent his points on Brute Force yet. He does have triple points in the Death Resilience. That's going to give him mad armor later down the line. So far, doing really well against the dwarves here, to be honest. Being level 8 as well against the level 6 hero, which is now level 6. Wasn't until just the moment I said it. It's a big advantage, guys. There's not many dwarves left. We're looking at 88 population to 30, so yeah, not the best fight from the dwarves, definitely. Warrior of the Depths might just get taken down very, very soon. No pull. You can use your pull ability to... yeah, Nullify was on cooldown, but you can use that to stop teleports from happening. And the heroes are static during that, so it's pretty useful. Oh, we actually have 2 points in Blood Harvest here, so this guy keeps healing whenever some enemy dies in the area around. And then, yeah, really 4 points into Brute Force. That's what we need to see.
What are we waiting for?
What all do you have? We've got a Moon Silver Kairos level 3, as well as Mountain's Wrath level 3, but only in one hand. The other hand is less impactful, so it's not as important to upgrade that. No rings, no helmet, no pots. This is a problem, definitely, for the Warrior of the Depths. Especially once the orcs get really going with the hunters. But we're actually going tier 3, we just reached it. So that's probably not going to be the focus. Orcs do have both of the side sectors, so they can start gathering black ash right away. They have a lot of resources while attack speed enjoyer is rich. And, you know, maybe you'll even consider just trading right now with the dwarves. There's a lot of gobbles in here, so that could be ending very badly for them. But if he wipes out the entire orc army with that level 8 hero he's got, that could pay off. Could pay off. There's enough hunters here to fight off the one combat balloon, definitely. And with all these extra sectors, he gets an easy 200 population. Doesn't need to worry too much. The upgrades are coming through. We got 1 armor increase and 1 weapon increase so far. Dwarves, of course, don't have that. They like unlock abilities instead. I wonder if these Earth Shapers have their shielding. They do have their protective glyphs. Oi! The occultist just used all his abilities on nothing. Oh, that's unfortunate. But he walked out of the area and he doesn't get damage penalties, so he has level 2. It costs a lot more health to do it in the first place. The sentries are deployed, but they're too low in number to really snipe the occultist. He's got 60% resists after all, so he can take this like a champ. And then you just walk out and gonna be fine mostly. But he actually seems to be struggling. Actually chucks another potion there and just about manages to make it. He cuts down the golems. He's got 80% pierce resistance. Holy cow! No way. He heals himself back up to full health. This is ridiculous. Oh my god, there's so many hunters in the back now. I think the orcs can just push down this base. They've got all the brutes in the world. The fortified outpost doesn't have enough firepower alone to handle these, even though they don't have great magic or resists. Without extra towers, there's just no hope. Without hero, you can't stasis them and buy time for the base. This is a very, very big problem for our dwarves here. Overfrick Zakchar is gonna be cut down to size, and the orcs are expanding some more. I don't even think his hero is going down there, honestly. As hard as the sentries and the combat balloon are trying, they're just barely doing any damage. This thing has 80% armor. The dwarves having basically no weakening. It's very difficult to deal with the occultist, and they're actually going to give up. There's too much momentum. Well done to Attack Speed Enjoyer. It's been great to see him grow as a player. And I only look forward to more of this. I hope he sends me more games. Been playing quite a bit, so it's great to see, really. Speaking of which, you guys should also play more. You know, game's free to play. If you're not playing right now, the crew in my Discord has been very active as of late, and I can only suggest that you join us. It's gonna be fantastic, I think. So with that, I'm gonna be retreating now because it's almost midnight here, but I'll be very happy to accept some more games. Hope you enjoyed this different version of the Showmatch Sunday. No live games, but we got through all of our community replays, so I think that was a good use of the time. Thanks very much everyone for watching. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe on the way out, and I'll be looking for somebody to raid. Thanks everyone. Have a great next week.